Okay. So are we starting exactly where we left off at, Simon? Like the end of the night? What are we allowed to do? Because this isn't like a whole ass session.
We'll just say this is the next day. For simplicity's sake, instead of just backtracking.
I want to guess the dream though.
Okay. Yeah, that is a thing that we want to do. So I guess we're doing that now instead of next session.
Cool note to start on.
Cool. I guess we're going to Sneaky Beaky immediately then.
Okay, see you later.
And the rest of us can figure out what the fuck
probably
exactly
good.
we're going to be doing.
Half session then, because this would have been weird otherwise. Get out of here. Get out of here, Stamps.
Okay.
All right, so what are we doing? Because I'm going to change my prepared spells real quick.
I have no clue what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, if he's
my spells too.
If he's like letting us start at nighttime, I kind of want to cast Find Familiar and make Azek something like that can see in the dark, like an owl.
A bug.
And send him. I want to send him onto the wall, over the wall. I want to see how far he can get and what they can detect.
We're gonna get another full rest in before the heist, right? We should be at like max for that. Past whatever we're doing. Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna take off Human Spirit and putting on a different one. So no combat in this mini session.
Yeah, I would say if you don't have anything.
This is probably gonna be like a day before a session, and we're gonna end it getting our long rest in for the next day. Is
all right.
What I'm hoping.
I picked. Oh, maybe locate. What does locate object do again?
Locates an object.
Is that something we need? We probably don't need that today.
Probably.
Or locate animals or plants. I picked Charm Person, Fairy Fire, Enhance Ability, and Find Traps. Those are my spells.
Those are good.
Today.
Enhance Ability. How would that work with invisibility?
This is
Enhance Ability gives you advantage.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's another spell that I'm planning on preparing.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's really good for stealth.
It's on Constitution checks, not just always advantage.
Huh.
I think.
Constitution checks? It's just like you pick an
The
ability score and you
target
just get advantage on
the
checks.
target has advantage on Constitution checks. It also
That's only
gains
one of the
2d6
options.
temporary hit points.
That's only one of the possible effects. There's one for each ability score.
Oh, you think I'm gonna read this all? No.
I should hope you would. Yeah,
You know what's bad? I
are
actually bought those like little D&D spell cards, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna use these like flashcards and memorize my spells. And it's been 2 weeks now. I have not pulled them out.
This is so sad.
Dexterity would probably be, that would be.
Yeah, and also it's enhance ability Cat's Race. You have advantage on dexterity checks, and you don't take damage from falling 20 feet or less.
Oh man, that could have helped Chris in every situation ever.
I'm pretty sure it's also a wizard spell. Might be wrong though.
He simply does not want to be alive. We knew this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised at this point. And also, it is not a wizard spell. It's a sorceress spell. Sorcerer, druid, cleric, bard.
I have Featherfall. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, advantage on any ability check you want.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Are they back? I thought I heard... No, they're not back. Okay.
Was there anything specific all of you wanted to get done on prep day? Because I know what I want to do. I just don't. I don't know.
I trust your guys' judgment. All I want is a plan where we don't split up. That's really all I want.
Yeah. Keep as much of the party together as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are our priorities? Like next day we're gonna go and get get our passports stamped, or are we gonna like steal our information back so it doesn't like get into the hands of Silverwind? Because
what do you mean the next day? Like after the heist?
Like after the prep day.
After the prep day, I think that's what we're still trying to figure out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what are our current thoughts on it? Because I think like whatever they would have seen already. So we might as well just stamp them and be able to get into the city.
Yeah, I want to hear what Josie and Bowen think about the whole like Silverwind pretty much like looking for us thing. Because I hadn't thought about it. I hadn't thought about it until it was.
You guys made good points, but I do feel like you guys that hopefully is reading too much into it. My hope is that the Silverwind stuff is with the traders. We know Tetscat is a city of trade. I don't think I'm hoping it doesn't leak so far into like this bureaucratic system, especially since it's so bureaucratic. I'm hoping that would be really hard to do that. Not saying it's impossible, but I think we're probably safe to keep the passports in the system. I don't think Silverwind has got it in that far.
Yeah. And they're probably also like the underground.
Okay, yeah, that's the one thing I was thinking. And the second thing I was thinking is we should go talk to the Forger and see if he knows anything about Silverwind.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to what if the Forger is Silverwind? Wouldn't that be fucked?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be.
And if somebody knew we were here and they already killed the Forger.
Oh god.
That would like real suck.
Because I mean, that guy, he used to be in the system, right? He like what? He retired? He quit or something?
Yeah, he was a previous government official, so he knows the ins and outs.
Yeah, so he'll probably know if Silverwind is in or not.
Precisely.
I would hope so.
And he probably would have loose lips since he's already like making forgeries.
I had a note on my phone that I wrote. Okay, so none of you guys are worried, like if you know Silverwind does have somebody in the government building to kind of, you know, filter through all the applicants, and they know to be looking for us. I'm sure like we're not hard to miss, and we've been traveling all over the fucking country at this point. But are you guys worried, Jenna and Riley, about your names and addresses and everything, like your real information being possibly exposed to Silverwind? Like, do Riley? No. I know Jana does, but does Riley have anyone back home that he might be worried about? Like, oh, I don't need them to figure out where my mom lives or something. You know what I mean?
Riley wouldn't put an address down because he's a traveling merchant.
Yeah, Jana's not super worried about that. One, because there's not a real address for her. I think Simon stated multiple times that like the mail does not reach that town, her village. And it's so remote and hard to get to. And even when people have stumbled across it, well, I'll just say they don't last long in the village, especially if they're...
And the same could be said of Riley's hometown, because it's like the one spot in the entire continent that doesn't have like slavery. It's hidden very, very like within the jungle, basically.
Oh, okay.
Dasher doesn't even really have much of a homeland left for anyone to go back to, so I mean, not super worried there.
Yeah.
Damn, they're just got like nobody, huh?
I'm hoping that, like, again, canonically, Zero's hometown is also magically hidden, so I'm hoping that'll let this one slide. But I always worry that Simon has tricks up his sleeve, and they've been collecting enough information on us by now.
Well, that basically leaves Chris.
If they do, good fucking
his only
luck.
Connection is his mentor, and his mentor is, well,
yeah. Also,
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Zero would most be concerned about like their mother who lives alone. Who lives alone in like a shack.
But it's one of those things of like, do you really think they could really, get over there? Like that would be a lot.
Yeah, that would be a lot. I think
even if they did,
less trouble to just like kill us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably be okay.
Did you give them your real name?
Simon never asked me, so if he does ask me now, knowing what I know, I don't think Zero would have. Because, like...
Yeah, Zero always gives a fake name anyways.
Yeah.
I think the only time Zero was given their real name was back at the academy when they were like, oh, you know, if you die, we're going to let your next of kin know that you passed away. And so we had to, like, sign all those documents and shit like that. I think Zero gave their real name for that. But for this, no, I don't think Zero would have.
I think Riley's just gonna go with Riley. Because he did put his full name on the academy, the guild as well. But for this, probably just best.
Ooh, we got gamers. Did y'all have a productive discussion?
Did anybody die?
So.
Chris comes back like
too excited.
No death yet.
Aw, dang it.
Huh?
Yeah, half of Chris's face is just skeletal, burnt off.
One of these days, he's not going to be joking.
And we're going to think it's a joke.
You're assuming he's joking now.
Yeah.
That's true.
Chris, you take 8d12 fire damage as you arrive back from the dream with your face burned off.
I'm now half skull.
Mm-hmm. You're like halfway to being a Mortal Kombat character.
He's Monty now.
Okay. At this point, let's say you guys all awake at 6 o'clock as specified by your time frame of last session, which was last week.
Do we put on a little makeup?
Yes, there's also a bottle of whiskey for which to brush your teeth with.
Everybody knows you brush your teeth with a bottle of Jack, not whiskey. Unless
Jack
whiskey is Jack.
whiskey.
Okay, never mind.
And I would like to clarify that Deirdre wakes up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy.
There you go. The prophecy is complete.
Yeah. The great prophet, Patrick Didiothesis, or whatever.
Oh, yes.
Quite the wordsmith.
Did we confirm with Claudine that I had a thought and I lost it? I am forget. Come back to me later.
Okay. Let's go to the Forger unless there's anything else people want to do first.
I mean,
I feel like
was it open at 6 a.m. I mean, it'll be probably like 7.
I mean, what else is he doing?
I mean, Deirdre would like to. Hold on. Does Riley have a focus for clairvoyance?
What does that mean? A focus.
A glass eye.
Oh yeah. He's got 3 of
100
them,
GP.
actually.
Oh, okay, sweet. Because I have clairvoyance prepared, and I would like to cast that upon the wall and just look behind it.
All right. I mean, Riley could also do that if you want to save a spell slot.
I mean, I prepared it. Might as well.
Let's see.
We don't really need spell slots that much.
Does a cracked glass eye work? Because I'm pretty sure they're cracked. Oh no, they're clear glass crystals. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, you may have
Those
one.
are the ones you took from the spider.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you just like giving this to me, or are you lending it?
Does it lend? I guess. You know what? Just give, because I'll still have 2 more.
All right. Glass eye, 100 GP.
Probably. Anyway.
Thank you, Riley.
I don't think we ever take note of how things cost, but that doesn't seem to matter too much.
I mean, yeah, just for the purposes of the spell.
Right.
All right, and I guess on our way to the Forger, I'm gonna find a nice secluded spot and place an invisible sensor inside Tetscat.
Okay. I'm assuming this is part of the obvious location that is unfamiliar to you, behind the wall.
Yes.
Okay, that's possible. Cool. So am I correct in the assumption that
I can just do this from before we leave in the morning because the range is 1 mile. So I'm just going to do it so I'm not like obviously just casting some magic on the wall so the guards don't get suspicious.
Okay, are you going to do this in your room?
I guess.
Okay, there is one other person in this room here with you, besides your 2 companions.
All right, what does everyone think? Go out back first or what?
They're asleep, but, just...
I mean, 10 minutes. So, I mean, they're not going to know what I'm doing anyways, probably, unless they're secretly some magic-averse savant. So if they're asleep, might as well.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. So how far up do you want to place this sensor? Like just behind the gate, or you want to get like higher up for like a bird's eye view?
A little higher up, but not like too high up.
Okay. Non-committal. I like it. Cool. So midway, roughly.
Let's say like 3 or 4 people high.
Okay, like building height. Roughly.
Yeah, like building height. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe like a little bit above building height.
Okay. Nice Assassin's Creed POV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's possible. So you create a visible sensor behind the wall. There doesn't seem to be interrupted by anything. You do see at this hour there's not as many people. The gates are still open, and there is still a lot of guards right below the gate. You can see there's just as many guards on the other side on the other side of the wall as there are on your side of the wall.
Okay, but it is like almost immediately like city. It's not just stretches of open land.
Yeah, it's
where they just like fire bows at us or whatever.
Yeah, it is city, but pretty much the entirety, even on the inside of this wall, is pretty heavily guarded. Like there is like a guard posted up like every 20, 30 feet. Like just as far as you can see, there is like a small little gap between the buildings and the walls. And there's just guards just posted up, just patrolling around those areas. There's guards on top. There's guards in the slots, same as the other side, on your side pretty much. But it looks like just city. Like there are a lot of the buildings you see in the inside are actually built a little bit differently than the ones you see on your side. These ones look kind of similar to the walls, like they've been carved out of the mountain. Like not like crushed down and built up with cobblestone. It looks like they are like smooth, complete stone, just melted with the floor.
Okay.
And a lot of them are very square, and there's not a lot of ornamentation or decoration or anything. It looks pretty plain, featureless, like dark gray stone. And it almost looks utilitarian. Like it's instead of like, buildings meant to be like all showy and like all ostentatious in their presentation, this looks like it's built for purpose. Like every building here is just sidled up right next to the other. Like they're trying to conserve space as much as they can or something. It's hard to look for any defining landmarks. You do see a couple things. Make a perception check.
I'm good at those.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop. Hey.
Pretty good.
Okay. You do see ahead of you there is light in here. Like it's not just dark, featureless cave. There are lights. The ceiling goes up pretty high, roughly, as far as you can tell, 500 feet, and there are lights at the top. And it looks like there are guards up there too. As you can see, some movement up there, and like some weird hanging chandelier structures that look like they connect to some other rooms built into the ceiling of this place. There's an area roughly in the middle that looks like it gets the most activity. I'm not sure what it is, but there are a lot of pluming columns of smoke, like black smoke. They look like forges, most of them. Just from the way that the smoke seems to form. It's not like a clear colored smoke from a normal fire. This looks like charcoal. And it seems like these do vent into some of these weird funnel-shaped openings at the top of this cave as well. Some of them just round out outside and just go into the open space, but some of them that can't escape that far just goes into these weird openings at the top of the ceiling, like a funnel shape almost into the ceiling. The last thing you notice, just with a quick glance, you can see is Somewhere in the far left of the city is a huge stone column that reaches from the bottom of the surface of the city to the top of the ceiling. And there is just spiraling torchlights just all the way across it. I'm assuming all of this that you placed your sensor around here.
Around where?
Roughly. Where I just moved the token real quick on the map. That's where
yeah, around there.
Yeah, so that would be what you see for the perception check. You get a good, decent look around the city. And you do see it's not just like, it's not just, there are some elements of decoration. There are like elements of people trying to individualize their buildings. Like there are like symbols, signs and stuff, but for the most part, it's pretty plain and featureless.
Okay. So if we were to like teleport into the city, like through the wall, like if things went well, could we hypothetically like hide? Are there like nooks and crannies to like dash into?
There are, yeah. It's not perfectly uniform. It's still a city and it has all the chaos of building a city, but it's weirdly uniform because most cities are built straight from chaos. This looks like they built it with uniformity in mind. Or carved it, I should say.
Okay, so if we were able to, by a stroke of luck, evade the initial view of the guards from the wall, and you said they're just like lined up along the wall. They're not like in every single alley.
No, there is a heavy guard presence along what you assume is the main road. This road does connect to that weird column of smoke you saw earlier. There's a huge guard presence there. Again, it's like the same amount of guards, like one every 20, 30 feet or so, but they're not like spread out in every single nook and cranny that you can see. At least.
All right, so we could teleport in theoretically and not get caught if we go well.
I know this is Deirdre's thing. I would hope that she would tell us that she's doing this beforehand so I could ask her a question.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, I just ask that you like kind of check and see what the guards are doing. Like if they come across citizens, are they like, I doubt it, but I just want to be sure. Are they like IDing people every time they pass by somebody? Or are they like stopping and frisking? What kind of like activity are the guards up to other than just like, hanging around? Like are they like actively looking for people that are not there legally? What are they doing?
Yeah, are guards hassling people, Simon? I'd imagine by the wall, probably not, because that's the people's job at the gates. But from what I can see, like a little deeper into the city,
there's barely anyone around where you are right now. Even with your perception check, it's hard to. You don't have eagle vision to just zoom in to see what they're doing. Like you only tell they're guards because they're dressed in armor, and that they're like a speck. The guards closest to you are the ones you can see clearly, and those are the people that have already been approved and good to go through. So you don't see anything. You don't see anybody immediately hassling, but you haven't been able to look further into the city yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not as busy as it was when you first got here. It's 6 a.m.
Okay. But generally, from what I can see, people are being like left to their own devices.
From where you are, the people that you can see clearly, apparently so. But those are the people that have been already cleared to go through the gate.
Okay.
So you're not sure how it's going to function further into the city.
All right. I could always blow another spell slot and go a mile into the city. What do y'all think?
I don't think it's not worth it.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go from where we are, I guess, to like this big old center here.
Okay.
And blowing another spell slot.
Sure, clairvoyance. Cool. So you pretty much arrive at the area where the smoke column was, and that's like the extent of your clairvoyance range. So you can see, let's say you're a couple like tens of feet above the ground, so you can see roughly clearly. It looks like a big courtyard. It almost looks like in an industrial area. Like there's a lot of mine carts, a lot of coal, a lot of charcoal, a lot of unrefined gems, a lot of unrefined ores, stone, and there's a lot of people processing it. Like you couldn't see a lot of people from where you were before, but here there's a shit ton of people. Some of them look like merchants. Some of them look like tradesmen. All of them are dwarven, as you can see, except for like one person. Looks like just like a human dressed in like very basic leather armor with a short sword at their side.
Okay.
But pretty much, like everyone here is either talking to another person. But that look like a merchant. You can tell because of their big, like colorful floppy hats. A lot of them have carts. A lot of them are leaving the city. A lot of them entering the city. There's a lot of people carting a lot of mine carts. You can actually see there is like a from this area there is like a minecart track that goes further into the city. That looks like it just extends outwards towards one of those built-in gates. And a lot of people are just dumping their shit across that trail.
All right. And people generally aren't getting hassled?
There's a huge guard presence here. You see some guards talking to other people, but you're not sure if they're being hassled.
Okay, but I'm not seeing anybody like pulling out papers or anything.
A few tons of people pulling out papers, but not all of them are to guards. You see some people writing.
But like passport papers. Like I've seen the passport card before. Like, is anyone pulling out anything like that?
Not here, no.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, is there anything else anyone would like to know?
Not before going to the forger, no.
Would you guys...
All right.
Are we all together at the moment?
Probably.
Yeah, depends what you guys want to do. You guys can wake up, get some morning coffee.
Yeah, then go back to the room and just like cast some spells real quick. That sounds about right.
Okay. Would you guys like me to fill you in on what I talked to Pratchell with? Like,
oh, you did it again, did you?
Yep.
Alright, let's hear what you got then.
We're just around the group at the moment, right?
Sure, yeah. Let's just say you got piled up into a corner somewhere.
Okay. So we have a couple of options. Pratchell can come and get us with teleport, but there is a risk with that a small chance that we could die in the earth by doing that. And he also has been summoning bullets for digging. So there could be...
Hold on, were those little critters that we fought?
Yeah, the ones that were just protecting
They're nice enough critters.
So he could possibly help dig a tunnel for us to go into.
Well, let's just do that then.
Deirdre, I hate to rain on your parade, but one of those bullets almost fucking killed me. I am not okay with that.
Well, I mean, almost. You're still alive. And come on, worst case scenario, you die, I bring you back. No problem.
No problem.
If you insist. If I die, I expect gold payment.
Well, I mean, it costs money to bring you back. If you die, I feel like that's mostly your fault for, getting killed.
Also,
you are strong. You can take care of yourself. You're strong enough.
Also, I need two grain, poultry between 2 grains with lettuce and tomato.
Why?
So, a chicken sandwich.
Yes.
What is with Pratchell and his chicken sandwiches?
Well, because he's been eating mushrooms and he kind of...
What's wrong with mushrooms?
Well, he's kind of had diarrhea.
Oh, see.
Yes, ailments of the body.
You know what? When have we been in proximity of Pratchell where that hasn't been an issue? Name 5 minutes where that wasn't an issue.
Oh, Simon has just corrected me. The bullets have not almost killed me. I was thinking about the demon.
We still have had 2 encounters now with bullets, so right?
They weren't too bad. I could deal with those.
The first one was only good because you played your bags of haunting and it ran away.
I mean, true.
And then we slaughtered the family of the other.
I was under the impression the bullet was the demon that Mills summoned and almost killed me.
No, that's a Barlgura.
There you go. They start with B. That's the problem.
I mean, yeah, demons, that's where Deirdre has a problem. That would be a no from me, dog.
Wait, so what word did you use just now? He's conjuring them or summoning them? Which one did you say?
It's basically the same one. Same summoning the bullets to dig.
Okay. I was just wondering, like, are they under his control, or did he just like say, "Hey guys, come here," and like fucking let them just go ham and let them be wild?
I'm pretty sure they're under his control.
Oh, okay.
If they weren't,
Honestly,
he'd be dead.
Yeah,
I see no reason why we can't just have Pratchel come and teleport this.
There was the thing about dying in the earth. What does that mean?
Yes, more on that.
There's a small chance that because he doesn't know the exact location of where we are, that
Hold on.
we could kind of die.
How much... Oh, Pratchel could die teleporting to us.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
Well, I mean, as long as he gets here, again, like, I don't mean to be like, nitpicky or anything, but we could simply just resurrect him. That would be, like, super easy.
That would mean finding his body underground.
But, I mean, wouldn't he still get here, but just dead?
I don't think that should be the first option.
Yeah.
I mean, what is our other option? Like, because I looked inside the city walls, and the guards are very, like, densely packed. And I mean, we could get in just by teleporting through the wall, but that is...
When you bring people
not
back
my first option.
From death, like, maybe this is just my not understanding, and I'm being a bigot, but... Like, are you the same person when you come back? Are there like consequences from being
no
dead
consequences.
and then
you
being
are
reanimated?
Alive. I mean,
I feel like
you will be a little exhausted because having your soul pushed back into your body is a bit of an exhausting experience. It's quite an ordeal. But I mean, if I had to, okay, for example, if you had a sliding scale of 1 to 20 on how good you can do an activity, I'd say like you'd be like a -4 for each day, and it gets reduced.
Yeah, metagaming,
like,
but not really.
Yeah, like if on a scale of 1 to 20, like if it was random along that scale for every activity you do, the first day would be -4, then the next day -3, and so on until you're back to normal. But otherwise, yes, you'd be the exact same person just as you were.
This is Miss J talking. Didn't we discuss this before? And we asked about the consequences of like dying and being resurrected, and we agreed that it was like up to the DM's decision, like how that goes, like how Josie just asked, like, "Oh, are you good? Are you the same person?" Like,
I mean, dying
I'm
does
saying, like,
have an effect on people.
I'm saying Deirdre can't just like bring somebody back like 20 times, right? Like in a row, and they'll be
right.
Good. There should be consequences to that.
I assumed it was going to be like a Giorgio situation, right? That was my understanding, is that if we were to do that, it would almost work how Giorgio does, where he can only die so many times before it's like, okay.
I think it also
depends on towards that light.
I think it also depends on how functioning the body is as well.
Oh yes, if you die of old age, nothing can bring you back.
I think he means like if you get your head blown off or something.
Ah yes, that would be an issue. I can't quite grow back a head yet, but one day.
Oh, what was the bullet option again? He said we could just find the tunnels that they're making. What was that about?
Well, we could ask to see if he could maybe make a tunnel for us to go through, like for them to like bury like dig a tunnel towards where we are. The thing with that is it might it might bring attention to the guards, but it also depends on where we're doing that tunnel.
Simon, when I went into like the slums of the city and I fought those guys, what was the guard presence like over there?
When you're in the alleys, not that high. They were able to kick the shit out of a person without anyone else selling them. So.
Oh yeah.
And I
But
mean,
it
we
is
could
also
also
outside the city, so
we could also always cover the hole back up once we go inside, and we would know where it is, and we could simply uncover the hole easily.
A fair point.
So I feel like that option is also like up there. And then
Chris,
we're directly at Pratchell.
Chris, how accurate of a spot can Pratchell get to us? Like if we set up shop in like an abandoned building and we told him to bring the bullets to the building, would he like be able to find us? Or would he just be like within a certain amount of miles from us?
I'm not exactly sure. But we might be able to locate the bullets. Jana could, right?
It's true.
Oh shit, that's a good point.
Who has
we could...
one of you has Shape Earth, right? Riley or Chris?
I think that was Chris.
I have Mold Earth, but it's like only like 5 foot cube thing.
I mean, that's enough if they like tunneled below us and Jana was able to kind of roughly track down where they were. We could just slip down and close it back up.
Right. And there was also I have access to thaumaturgy, so I can cause us to rumble, so they could find us very easily.
It's not a bad plan. However,
Yeah.
What happens when we get in?
Well, that's what we're there to do. We do what we're there to do.
I guess he's pretty deep into the city, right? We'd be in those tunnels for a while.
I don't mind walking.
How long are we talking, do you think?
Well, think about it. He's in the old dredge right now, and we are roughly around here. So he's way out here, 2.6 miles. How long would that take to clear on foot?
We'd probably be going a little slower because tunnels.
That too.
Yeah, we'd be on
How
foot.
long does
Like an
it take to
hour?
walk 2.6 miles?
Hour or so.
Yeah, I guess it's not that bad.
Yeah, that'd be like an hour.
And assuming those are like bullet-made tunnels, I don't think there's a natural tunnel system under the city, or maybe one that's already existing. But assuming it's a bullet-made tunnel, we shouldn't have like any encounters down there, right? As the kids say, like there should not be a lot of issues once we're down there, especially if the bullets are already under his control.
I mean, it's just one of those things where if we go down there, the bullets are moving around. We could get in a situation where we like have a bullet behind us and a bullet in front of us. Maybe they're not alerted, but we could get in a situation like that.
Well, what is the problem with the bullets being there?
They're hostile. They'll attack us.
Yeah.
But they are under the control of Pratchell.
Yeah, I think Chris just said he verified that Pratchell has control of them.
That was not 100% verified.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Brandon
and we've dealt with two.
I'm just thinking a worst case scenario. I'm just thinking, plan for the worst, hope for the best.
Worst case scenario, we can deal with 2 bullets.
I still think that's the best thing. But I'm just worried about if we're in the tunnel, possible tunnel collapse.
Mm.
I'm literally just thinking of like the worst that could happen with that plan. I think this is still the best plan there is, though.
Well, there is the Shape Earth that we could use to at least make a little hole for ourselves, so those of us who need to breathe can.
I
We're
like the bullet
100% sure
idea.
the tunnels go that far, right? We're 100% sure on that.
Well, the bullets are making the tunnels.
Okay.
I think
We
we
could
should
start-
go to the city, not the city, obviously, but like the slums, and maybe that we can find like an abandoned building or something there that we can use as a meeting point, and we can tell Pratchell, you know, send him our way, and you know, if we have to help the bullets find us, we could do that. But I think that might be our best bet because the heist thing is real risky, and I would like for as little people to know we're here as possible.
Fair enough.
I should note that you guys have seen bullets twice, and you would probably know that they tunnel not very subtly. Like both times, you're able to feel the rumble beneath your feet.
I mean, this is a mining tunnel. It's probably not too uncommon.
But how far below are they tunneling? Because Pratchell's in deep, right?
That is also true. We could make them tunnel very deep.
And I feel like even if they do bring attention to themselves by tunneling, we can find a way around it. Like we can cast invisibility or something, and we can hide, and suddenly it will be just a bullet problem that the city has, and it won't. They won't necessarily immediately like realize we're there.
The problem with that is that the guards will be sent there.
I mean, we're
And that's basically making, you know, a tunnel straight to Pratchell that the guards can go through.
At least he's out of the
What we could
cave. Is that
do-
not the thing?
What we could do is make a big distraction.
I
the
don't
guards.
like where you're
I already
going
hate where
with
this
it, but
is
I'm
going.
listening.
I can summon maybe a demon for them to try and
No. No.
attack.
Yeah.
You see,
no,
that
no.
would be far too bad. That would instantly kill most of the guards in the town, and it'll be running around for an hour unsupervised. That's a problem.
And again, we cannot leave. Like we're at a point where we're not even in the city yet, and we're already in a point where if we do something bad, like we can't just run. Like we have to go through that whole boat system.
Well, I mean, we could create a boat of our own and get out of here.
Oh, we never.
Oh,
Did we ever talk to
didn't it
Jana
take
about
like
that?
3 hours
We didn't.
to get chained up? We're gonna make our own boat.
We can make our own airship. Like
Yeah, we
I don't
can.
know if we talked about this with Jana. I don't know how long it would
We
take,
didn't.
but we didn't bring it up to Jana yet.
Mm.
So Simon, did we talk to you about it, Josie?
No.
Simon has allowed us, if we would like to, use the hanging head home thing. He will either allow us to make a boat, like a boat that goes in the water out of it, and we sacrifice, how many rooms was it? We sacrificed like 2 rooms.
2. Yeah.
And then he said we could also make it an airship, but we would sacrifice all of the fun rooms.
That just seems risky when it comes to storm. I don't know if Simon would make the boat, you know, get blown away, or the airship too if there's like thunder and lightning. I don't know what that's gonna be, but that's an interesting option. But off my dome, hearing that the first time, that scares me.
Remember that Riley has control water, so if, you know, storms are a problem, they're not really a problem.
If storms are a problem, no, they're not.
Riley just wants a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll settle for an airship or like a regular ass boat. We love that for him.
They're just options that are available to us.
Yeah.
The thing is I would very much like a study room.
Okay,
Yeah,
then that should be
study room sounded
incentive
really
not
cool.
to mess up and not to cause a panic in the city, because that is like worst case scenario. That's even hoping that the house builds the airship in time. If we have no other way to get out of the city and the guards are like on our ass, I think that is an option on the table that all of us should consider. But that means that Chris can't fuck up hugely while we're here. Like you need to triple think everything you do.
Okay, I would like to discuss what is it that we need to get done in the city. Because is it all centered on Pratchell and getting into those mines? Because if so, like either the bullets or the teleportation, let's just fucking do that and easy, simple.
We're forgetting something here. There's a certain rogue that needs to get in there and spend a lot more time here than we do.
I mean, she can just as easily come with us.
What was she here for again?
She wanted to
Claudine?
steal, I think.
Ah, steal.
That's
And if she wants to come into the city with us, then she's more than welcome to. I don't have taken the issue with it.
yeah. We just got to
As long
get
as
her
she's
in,
okay
and
with
then she
getting in.
can deal with everything else.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think there shouldn't be an issue helping her get in with us. She'll just be on her own once we leave.
Should we like talk to her about it? Ask what Claudine thinks.
I mean, we can invite her. I don't think she should get to decide what we do.
I think she knows all the possibilities, right?
Yeah.
She's just gonna do.
'Cause I
what we
mean-
do.
I mean, she seems like a roguish type, like Zero. So
We should also talk to the forger dude too to get all our options.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
I
You
think
said
that was
dude.
on the schedule. He did say dude.
Dude.
Nice. But yeah, we can go talk to the forger guy and like kind of answer a lot of questions I know we all have, and I think from there, once we have a lot more information, I'll even send Azek over the wall again, so we can also consider that option still. And then we can talk about it and see what we come up with.
Right.
Also, one last question, just point. What happens if one of us gets caught? Are we like fighting our way out? Are we letting the judicial system do its thing? What is your plan? Because my plan is no prison can hold me.
I'll keep it real with you. I feel like if any of us get captured, that's kind of like it for your character. Because this place is like a fucking fortress. As much as that sucks, I don't know how the fuck, unless you're Deirdre, how you would get out of that.
I would unleash
Yeah.
chaos.
I can't speak for Chris and what he's gonna do. I know that if I get caught, I can get away hopefully easily, and in a situation where I'm like pinned against a wall and I'm by myself, I'm not going to kill people. I'm gonna try to get out of it unlethally. I'm gonna just try to just slip out and hopefully meet up back with somebody so we can get out of here. But I'm not willing to kill people, no. Especially not fucking cops who are, like probably a higher priority of me, killing them than the fucking, what was it, crime dude, crime boys, crime brothers. I don't know their fucking name. The guy whose ass I
The
beat
Sons
up.
of Old Clan.
That guy, yeah. I feel like if we kill any guards, we will be top priority. They're gonna kill us on sight. We're not. I don't think that's the move, but I do think we should try to get out and help each other out if possible.
It makes me super uncomfy that this town is like the equivalent of the state of Indiana in the sense of there's for every 4 people, 1 cop, like an insane amount of cops.
Disgusting.
That's how this town feels. Like they're just like mobs of them. Just you can't go a couple feet without running into one,
There's a lot of guards here.
Okay, so
If we successfully get through the tunnels and we get to Pratchell, I think it would be maybe in our worth interest to go find the crystals that we need to make an ID, because I don't know how long we're gonna have to be here for the whole Pratchell thing and whatever Claudine wants to do as well. We might want to just have an ID on us as soon as we have the opportunity to, because I don't know what happens if they ID us and we don't have a fucking ID. Is it just like a fine? Do they arrest us? So I was cool with the idea of paying 500 gold for him to make them once we get the crystals. I think Deirdre did not agree with that. But what do you
I think
guys
we have more
think?
important things to spend our resources on. Because what do we need to go into the actual city for?
We don't know yet.
For fun.
Yeah.
I feel like
we
we
still
just wanna
have
hang
the
out.
idea.
if we
we
need
still
to
have
go
the
into the city,
toilet
I feel
ID,
like then we
right?
should consider it.
What was that, Josie?
We still have the toilet ID, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy idea. Can't someone just like, oh shoot, just kidding. We already went down this path. Ignore me. Like, why can't we disguise self? Because there's the fucking magic detectors.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
once we are already in the
already
city,
did
that's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
an issue.
Once we're already in there, I think we could easily use that
Okay.
again.
I think there's a flawed problem because what if every gate is magically equipped?
Don't go through the gate.
I also wonder if the guy whose ID that we stole has like alerted somebody that it's been taken up off of him, and so maybe it's been flagged right now or something. Or I don't know. Maybe again, we don't know the situation in the city. He could know people, and he might have told people like, "Hey, by the way, if you see me with my ID, no, you don't," and fucking just let everyone else know that something fishy is going on.
Well, how would he even get back into the city?
I mean, again, I don't know. He lives here. I don't.
Should we talk to Claudine?
Probably.
Wait, they did say the faceless was run out of the city, right?
Yeah.
Was all the faceless run out of the city?
I think that's what that means, yeah.
Yes. Enough of them will run out for them to effectively have no presence.
But maybe there's someone, like one person, like stragglers or whatever, just wandering around that have somehow bypassed the system and that.
How do you propose we find them?
I thought that as well. I figured maybe we could look for some thieves' cant in the slums. Because I mean, Simon, other than like that zero like circle, do the faceless have any symbols that may be like just immediately associated with them?
Not really. Thieves' Cant is not. It's not like a it's based around symbology, but it's not like a. It's universally used.
Hmm.
Like they could, but that just seems like a bad way to
Yeah.
get your shit rocked by people that knows how to. Do it.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's just that like one oval type shape with nothing on it.
That is your symbol, yeah. The face like shape.
But I think Simon's saying they probably don't just like post that anywhere.
No, that's just saying, hey, where are Face's hideout? If a guard knows how to read thieves' can't, he'd be like, oh, let's just raid this place. Or with Silver Wind, they'd be like, yeah, let's just torch this area. So, it's in the underworld, it's best to not leave your mark everywhere out of fear of retaliation.
I did think about that as well, though. So maybe while we're in the city, we can kind of keep an eye out for something, if anything.
Does this place have sewers? That's also another thing.
Looking for more frogs.
Does Chris want to get eaten by a sewer monster?
We just really love the smell of the sewers.
That's a little weird.
How many times have we gone down into the sewer now? Like we went in Imus, we went in Obethus.
Sewers.
We haven't been in Silnia's sewers.
But we can go back to Silnia.
Trying to hit that sewer bucket list. Which cities haven't up in the sewers yet?
Honestly, I feel like if any city has a sewer, it's Tetscat, because they have so much water. They have just ocean, just running under the city. You know?
Fucking
I'd say our odds aren't super low. But also maybe not.
And they probably
gamer noises.
You know, they have to have like a way to get the sewage out of the wall.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't see any like, catapults or nothing.
Simon, while we are doing this, Chris, when you conjure something like a pebble or something, how does it have to be within a certain distance of you to remain present, and how long does it last?
It lasts about an hour. It can basically be anywhere.
Okay, because I'm thinking I'm gonna send Azik over the wall, and Azik is magical himself, but I didn't know if there was some sort of differentiation between, is that the right word I'm looking for? I don't know. Anyway, if there's any way for whatever magic they're using to detect other magical items coming into the city, if they have a way to tell the difference between a magical being versus a magical item. So I was gonna hope.
I mean,
I was gonna send Azik in.
Deirdre.
Oh, hold on. I was gonna send Azik in with a magical item, but I didn't want to send him with anything valuable. And so if you could conjure a stick or something for him to take with him, I was gonna send him in and let him just kind of roam the city for however long it takes and see if any alarms are raised immediately when he goes over the wall.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. That's not a spell slot, is it?
No. I can
Okay.
basically do it whenever, but the object will disappear after an hour.
Okay. That's fine. I just wanted him to try to get over the gate.
In the meantime, should we contact Pratchell or?
Should go talk to the forger.
Yes, that sounds good to me.
Nope.
Oh, well, somebody's dead.
Misty?
It was Misty.
Every time
You
someone
better know.
drops a horrible game of who's still here, who's missing. Misty?
Yeah, sorry. My internet sucks.
Look. Oh, yeah.
At this point, you see Claudine going down the stairs, brushing her teeth with just a brush. Half dressed in her armor, one arm just sort of hanging out of leather armor, just with massive bedhead. Looks like Miss Frizzle from Magic School Bus. But a massive frizz. Looking very tired.
I guess let's flag her over.
Where are we right now? Are we just in the...
You are in the inn. There's or the what's it called, the Cat's Cradle. Inn / what you discovered is essentially a homeless shelter. Yeah, she just blinks one eye at a time before slowly walking over to you.
Didn't get very good meditation last night, huh?
No.
Love that.
Riley's gonna read her mind.
Okay. Okay, her first thoughts are, those pillars are pretty bad for my spine.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go deeper.
Sure.
DC 17.
Riley doesn't trust anybody who reads minds a lot.
It's not that I don't trust her. It's that, one, it would be good to get insight without actually having to ask something. And two, it would be hilarious if she fucked up. And
She doesn't. She got a 19 plus 3, 22.
okay, she gonna fuck up then.
Okay. While she's like sort of just brushing her teeth very tiredly, she accidentally slips and like shoves it a little bit too far down her throat, and she starts like gagging a little bit.
Is she fine?
0 laughs.
She's coughing, but you know, she seems to be okay. No worse than just swallowing water wrong.
Okay.
0 giggles.
She looks at you, but she's too tired to retaliate.
That's fine.
So what's the plan?
Chris?
Well, we have 2 options. We could get my mentor to help us teleport into the old dredge, or we could get him to summon bullets and dig a tunnel for us to maybe travel through.
But that's those which you use to fire the guns, isn't it?
No, they're more like monstrosities.
Well, that seems horrifying.
Do you recall
Kind of cute,
in the
actually.
Obethis
There's dirt
sewers?
plants, right?
Do you remember a rumbling down there?
Vaguely.
That would be the cause.
Is there dirt by us? Like sand?
Or
Not
inside.
not within the building, no.
Is there like paper?
No. You have wood. There is a table. You're in a chair. You can have coffee and food if you'd like. But there's no immediate paper or quills.
Yes.
There's
Jana will order some food.
Okay.
Do they have mozzarella sticks?
Would you like coffee or fruit juice?
Coffee.
Okay. For food, would you like bread, a breakfast bash, or roasted vegetables?
A breakfast bash?
That's what it says on the
What's
menu.
in it? What's in it?
It says it's basically just bacon and eggs with butter toast.
That sounds nice.
Okay, so it's bread, that, or what else?
Roasted vegetables. If you're a vegan.
You know what? Jana's gonna go. Wait, what vegetables?
Potatoed, roasted potato with butter, sliced turnip, celery, and radish.
Oh, you know what? Let's do that.
Okay.
How fast will that come out?
There's not a huge amount of people right now, actually, right at this current hour. Most people, aside from like a couple of people chilling here, just as groggily sipping coffee. Yeah, you're pretty much like the only people with a large crowd. But eventually, Helen is awake. So is Duke. You don't see Henry anywhere though. And eventually, the two of them do get your food out.
Can we say? I forget the word when you like go back and like say something happened when it didn't. But can we say
Retcon?
since we were here the whole time? Like by the time we're talking to Claudine, the food's already there.
Yeah, you guys can order whatever you'd like from those options, and you can pay whatever you like.
Yeah, Riley will
Jana
grab
would like
the roasted
to
vegetables as well.
Jana wants to make a bullet from the vegetables to show Claudine what they look like.
Okay, you have a potato which is sort of bullet shaped. You can like carve it into it. Make
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Sure. You guys mostly start with small knives, I think, in like all your kits. Make a dexterity check.
While that's happening, I would like to ask, is coffee a modern invention, or has that kind of always been around?
You're not sure what coffee is. It kind of looks like it. You know the essence of coffee. It's sort of like tea, except instead of like tea leaves, it's like a mashed bean.
They're just gonna try some coffee, and it's gonna pay a gold piece for it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Jana's also giving it gold for her food.
And Riley will also.
Yeah, you are paying premium prices for essentially normal breakfast, like a Denny's breakfast.
They need it.
Yeah.
They could use the money, and a gold's nothing to us.
Homeless shelter. Yeah, Jenna, you carve beautifully, like a perfect image of a bullet, like basically the exact model of the token I just sent you. like head to toe. You know what bullets are. You've seen them. Like you get every crease in their armor correct. You get like that little dimple of their eyes, even like the shovel-like jaw. If you had some time and like maybe a toothpick, you could probably even make that jaw work. You could probably sell this potato sculpture for like something. That's how good it is.
Once Claudine has seen it and recognized it for what it is, she's gonna feed the potato bullet to Giorgio.
Okay, he's an omnivore. Yeah, potato with butter. Not entirely vegan, but who cares? Yeah, he eats it.
Vegan for the time. I don't think carbs the state it is today.
No, people don't get to be picky back then. Deirdre, how do you handle bitter stuff?
Deirdre has a refined taste for a wide palate.
Okay, it's basically just black coffee. There's nothing added to it, so you can react as you will.
Just gonna quietly enjoy the nice hot beverage.
Okay, yeah, interesting taste. It's not quite like the teas that you occasionally had when you had a stomach. Is a lot stronger, but it does sort of give you that sort of you get a sense that it would give energy
if I had energy to get.
Yeah, if you had need for energy, sort of like tea would do, you feel like this would accomplish it pretty well. It was basically like it's like ye old Monster Energy right now.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Okay. Yeah, Claudine at this point has finished brushing her teeth and has just put away the brush in one of like her packs in her bag. Okay, so your mentor is going to summon this potato beast. To where exactly?
I guess that's where we got to figure out.
Well, if I remember correctly, the rumbling I felt in the sewers of Bethis was pretty strong. If we're going to do that, probably somewhere outside the city, which means we'll have to sneak past those guards guarding the hills. Otherwise, we're just going to burst through in the middle of the small town outside here.
I think it's possible to sneak past the guards at the hills.
If we're careful, there's ways to hide. There's some grass. Just crawl prone. Some of you are magic-y.
So wait,
Yes.
Claudine, have you snuck into the city proper at all yet?
If I would, I wouldn't be here, would I?
Well, I don't know that. Maybe you came back out because of danger or something.
I'm pretty good at getting away from danger. I also know when risk is worth the reward, and I have not done any of those yet. I would like to.
Right, so you're on board with the tunneling or the teleporting and whatnot. You don't care about having a passport.
I'm on board of getting into the city. What I'm going to be doing is illegal anyway.
Well, great. That settles that then.
Another thought on the bullet thing. Jana does have earth tremor. I wonder if we could just convince them like an earthquake is happening, and they'll just like run for shelter.
But are earthquakes something that happens in this region?
That'd be cool if they don't, because they won't know what it would be like and just would believe it. Like, there's freak earthquakes in places that don't get them.
Okay, I suppose.
There was one. You know, Bethis, there was an earthquake that happened, like when we were at the bar.
But also,
Yeah, that would be the bullet.
Yeah, that was also the bullets.
What if we...
What is the range on your earth tremor also? Because we can't just make earth tremors where we are.
What if we have the bullets run below the city? How many bullets can he really summon at a time? What if we send like 2 bullets to the opposite end of the city and 1 bullet our way? That way there's just a lot going on at the time. And again, this problem will be blamed on bullets. They're not going to immediately tie it to any one person, hopefully, maybe. But if we like had the bullets fuck around everywhere else before just like coming straight to us. I think that would be a lot easier to like hide, like just like slip us in there versus having it come straight to us and then nowhere else. Like if it like ran around the city, or like we had more than one in it, we sent like a couple of them out in different directions. It's gonna bring attention, but we like it's. I think it's inevitable. I would rather risk that than risk us dying in the earth.
Yeah, I like that idea of sending like 2 like loose under the city and then 1 to us. I think that's a good.
I think that's brilliant.
But keep in mind, like once we get to Pratchell, we don't really know what the setup is, where he is. If it's like, if he's like just below people, or like if he, you know, once he steps out of wherever the fuck he is, if there's going to be a lot of people there. So I think we should be prepared to use like invisibility or stay down there until it's dark out, or maybe we don't do this until it's dark out, so we have the night to kind of hide us if we wanted to stealth around the city for a bit until we find somewhere to stay. But I just want to be prepared for like if we leave the tunnels, like we're going to have to, I think, be even more careful about not being caught, because they're going to be on high alert after the bullets, I would imagine.
Also, how far down can they go? Because that is something we talked about but didn't really stick too long on, is can they just go deep enough that the rumbling won't get to the city, enough for them to take note of it?
They probably could. I'm not sure how far deep, though.
But then how did we get in?
Well, they would just have to go up, like, outside of the city, which they would not care about it nearly as much.
I mean, wasn't that the plan anyway?
Yes.
Simon, when the bullet, when we encountered the bullet in Obethus, how... This is like a stupid question, but do we know like how deep in the earth we were? Like when we saw the tunnels that it was creating through like the sewers and stuff like that. Like, were we like a couple stories underground? How long was like the stairwalk down after we entered the sewers?
You were a couple. To the basically Abethus's butthole, essentially is where you entered from, because that's where all the sewage goes to. You were a couple stories down, but you're also like the same level as the bullet, so take that as you will.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
You watch as Chris just powers down.
Like if we told Pratchell to send the bullet, but send it like real like extra deep underground, maybe it could do that. It could go like, you know, enter at whatever point Pratchell's at and go deeper and deeper until it's like below the city at like a far enough distance where the rumble is not too violent, and then it'll come out somewhere outside city limits. We'll just have to go find it, I would imagine, or we would have to like, I think Claudine had mentioned earlier, we'd have to get past the guards and stuff like that. They don't want us just like wandering around. And we'd have to like decide on a point. We would either have to decide on a point, I think, ahead of time for the bullet to come up at, or we would have to just be lucky enough to find the point that it comes up at before the guards do.
Which we will be able to with Janna's primeval awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And I doubt they're gonna go send
Is that
an
a
entire
thing,
guard
Simon?
squad.
Would you allow it? I know it's not how we've ever used it, but technically, like, the primeval awareness is like it only lasts for so long, and it takes like a minute to do it. If that was the only thing Janna was ever doing, because she just like always keep it on and get almost like a live GPS feed of where they are. If that was the only thing she was sitting, eyes closed, just concentrating on that for like several minutes, because she just like keep track of them.
I'd say you basically function as a radar. Like every minute you just ping it. Yeah, but you'd also not be able to move. Someone have to carry you.
Right.
We guess
but that's if we needed that level of monetization, we could do that.
Yeah.
Could change your nickname real quick.
I wonder, like, if Chris was to use Mold Earth, how deep in the earth he could get us. Like, again, I don't know if it's a spell or if it's like a cantrip. But like how many times he could dig up a hole, 5 feet by 5 feet. Because I mean that's enough space for us to just go straight down. But like if he kept going and going, could he like get us deep enough to where the bullet wouldn't even have to like surface? Simon, what does the weather look like? I know it's like the middle of summer, but like, do we see any clouds in the sky? Could we wait for like rain cover?
It's pretty clear right now.
What would rain cover do though? Because they're already covered by a mountain.
I mean, if they were like, oh wait, okay, yeah. I think I don't accurately have a. I can't talk. I don't think I have an accurate like image in my head of what the city looks like from the outside. Is it like in the mouth of a cave? I was under the impression it was like the top of a volcano, like the very tip, and it's hollow around the top, and then you go in through the walls. Because it could still rain in this
outside. Like imagine this wall is where the mountain like face is. Pretty much someone carved that into a wall and then hollowed out a little bit of the top. So there is like some there is a bit of space from this very large cave entrance between the actual roof and the walls itself. Up maybe like a couple like 100 feet or so. And then inside is maybe just like a large cavernous space.
Okay, so the town doesn't really see rain then, like we do out here.
Okay. I mean, they can see outside.
I know they can see outside, but they don't they don't get like rainfall in the city.
No, not the inside part of the city, at least.
Yeah.
Obviously, it can still rain on the mountain, but
yeah, I was more thinking like if there was like thunder or something, some sort of sound to like kind of drown out the sounds of the bullet. And again, the bullet's like shaking the earth, but I feel like maybe that would be something.
I'm just gonna actually reveal one part of the map here real quick because you probably would have figured it out. There you go.
Cobble hat.
Is that an F or is that a T? Or like no, it's probably an F.
Oh, you probably would have figured out this one here too.
The implication of a second line.
Oh, hold on, no. Yeah, that leads there, and then that leads there. Okay, interesting.
Simon, so the points on the map that are like D, that is deep inside the mountain, right? Like there's no like going to the side of the wall that that's closest to. That's in the mountain.
The ones that they're in gray is within. It would be covered by the roofs. Actually, I forgot to color in the inside of the wall here, but yeah, pretty much anything that's covered in gray
in the mountain.
Yeah, but everything that's in the gray part is pretty much inside the mountain, as well as everything within that first wall. I guess I just didn't color in that part. Wow.
So this part here.
Yeah, I guess I didn't put that in, but that's also inside the mountain. And then there's a bit of space between the wall and the top. Like it's a big cave mouth, and someone just put a wall in front of it, pretty much. I spit all over my desk. Hey.
No.
Oh, I grace you with my saliva.
5-second rule.
What?
He slurps up his own saliva off the desk.
Hello.
No, you heard everything correctly, Brandon.
All right, so where does that leave our plan here? Find a good bullet spot, and
Maybe
is
we
that
should
about it?
go
Because we
talk-
can, we can just cause tremors in the ground in order to like signal them, hey, come get us here, and that could be the signal for them to come up and dig there.
How did they find us last time?
That's what we did.
Oh yeah, we did. Like at the mouth of that hole, we were just like shaking the earth for a bit. Yeah. We should we still go to the forger and talk to him though? Because again, that's somebody that's like been inside the city who might have a better idea of like what kind of like magical defense the guards have up, if any. Um, he just might have some more information that could be useful to us.
Well, what
Correct.
kind of information are we looking for?
Anything. We
Just so
don't
we
know
know.
we don't know what we don't know. So we
Good point.
anything.
All right, so to the forger then, next order of business.
The main thing we need to confirm is whether or not Silverwind has influence over the bureaucracy.
Yeah, forger time.
All right, so the forger then. Claudine, are you coming with us?
I
Probably like what?
I know
10
where
a.m.,
it
11?
is. You guys woke up at 6. Okay.
I mean, we had breakfast. Jan, I carved a potato. I had
It only takes 4 hours to carve a potato.
I mean, we did some spells. It's probably like 7.
Called 7. Spells like that did that, for like a minute.
Simon,
Claudine
I
was
mean-
very thorough brushing her teeth.
I mean,
When I
Clairvoyance
went-
takes 10 minutes to cast.
when I went from the cat's cradle, or I guess not the cat's cradle, the gate entrance to the slums of the city, there wasn't like any guard presence stopping me from going in there, right? Like they're not really keeping track of who's coming in and out because it's not behind the gate.
No, there are guards on the main road mostly. While you're traveling between the alleys, there wasn't a huge guard presence. You see like 1 or 2 at most, like the whole time. But it doesn't seem to be as heavily monitored. Not sure why. Okay, so you guys gotta head to this forger then. Forger named Bolo Stratus.
What are
Haja,
we going to do if this forger is Silverwind affiliated?
kill him.
Yeah.
Right.
Lights
Death
out.
For me.
Association.
If for some reason we do have like black and white verification that he is with Silverwind, I don't see the problem with just killing him because like the city would want his ass dead anyway. So
Yeah. And who already knows who we like ran and tell? Like just bye.
So are we just going to ask him if he's Silverwind affiliated?
No, we're going to ask if
No.
Silverwind has any sway over the bureaucracy.
And if he looks weird, stab him.
And Rella, you can just read his mind, right?
Yes.
Well,
and then
okay, we're good then.
him being a member of like the underground black market, I don't know what to call it. Hopefully he'll have some knowledge of the faceless if there is any presence left in the city, even if it's 1 or 2 people. Again, I do think that is a purring cat. Whose cat's purring?
Huh?
That's mine.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Cat.
now I
That
hear
is
it.
such
Now
a
I
good
hear it.
sound. Everyone shut up for 10 minutes.
ASMR.
I'm
I love
sorry.
it.
If he has any knowledge of if there's any faceless members still kind of like floating around, maybe again they might have more information for us because maybe there is like a secret underground tunnel system that again we wouldn't know about if it wasn't for like somebody who is shady and works in the city. So yeah, I'm just
Let's have at
talking.
it then. Character gets up and starts walking towards the door.
Okay. All right, so to the forger then.
To the forger.
Okay. In the midst of this conversation, Claudine has fully dressed herself and was in the middle of combing her hair. Yeah, eventually she does guide you to about this area, I think. She remembers the location.
Simon, from where I was when I fought those guys, where is that in comparison to where we are now?
You're probably about like 200 feet away.
Okay.
You weren't that far off, yeah. There is a small blood stain, like a blood pool, that seemed to have dried overnight. Probably where you severed that dude's arm. Yeah, Claudine guides you to an area. It doesn't look like much. There's no signs or anything except for a very small forgery symbol in Thieves' Cant, just embedded in the top or the bottom of the top door frame, pretty much. Like if you didn't know what you're looking for, you would have probably missed it entirely. Luckily, both you and Claudine know what to look for. It's just a very ramshackle hut. The door is less of a door and looks like it's like a piece of sheet metal that's just been like layered over a door frame.
Simon, do the slums here remind me of home?
Your home would actually be a little bit more well put together than this place, actually. You guys actually had like tents, and once your clan, I guess, settled down, you actually had like permanent buildings. This is like it's almost like a favela, pretty much. And Claudine knocks a coded message in Thieves' Cant, which Siri you recognize as customer, pretty much, or someone that's interested in buying. You hear some shuffling on the inside before you hear a lock open and then slide off, and it's the corrugated sheet metal that sort of slides to the side. You see an older male dwarf, shirtless at the moment, carrying a cane that looks like it was made of some like driftwood that he just fashioned out of, with like a long, very unkempt, and if you look closer, lice-ridden beard. And he's sort of wearing a leather cap. And it looks like it has some sort of harness on it right now. You can see that under his eyes are massive bags. He sort of peeks his head out the door and sees... He looks at all of you before he starts closing the door again, for Claudine just sticks her foot in the door. They're with me. At which point the older dwarf lets go of the door and starts hobbling towards the back of the room before he just says, "Friends weren't part of the deal." Before Claudine sort of looks to all of you and just sort of opens the door and walks inside.
Riley follows.
Yeah.
I'll
go in behind Riley.
Inside you see it's a very like ramshackle hut. There's barely anything in here. There is a cabinet with like a door missing, pretty much. It looks like it's like being termite infested right now. And there is a bed frame, not even a mattress. And that's pretty much it in this room. Oh, he sort of just sits on the bed frame. What do you want?
Simon, before we come in here, can I have Azek stay outside and just I'm just going to tell him to keep an eye out for city guards or any more of those bros. If he can just perch himself somewhere and chill there.
I would also like to cast Enhance Ability Charisma on Zero and Riley, giving you advantage on charisma checks.
Sick. Arigato.
Cool.
Okay. Azek's just like a bird just perched on top of the door frame, pretty much. Like a magpie. The dwarf sort of looks at you, Chris, who last enter, I'd imagine. Close the door.
I slowly close it.
Okay, as you just slowly door, the sheet metal is now over the door frame very slowly. He was eye contact the entire time. Okay, and he sort of just looks to all of you.
Right. There is a piece of information I wanted to confirm with you.
He just looks at you.
All right. We need to know if Silverwind officials have infiltrated any part of the bureaucracy of this area.
Don't know.
Simon, can we make an insight check to see if he really doesn't know, or if he like needs us to like butter him up?
Make an insight check.
Come on, good roll. Ooh.
The dude's facial expression has barely moved ever since you met him. He's said like 4 words total. Hard to gauge.
Okay.
Can I ask him, do you know who we are?
No.
Chris, I should hope it stays that way for now, at least.
Should I know who you are?
You see, we're currently wanted by Silverwind. We've been fucking around with their human trafficking a little bit, and they're very much out for us. If we, send our information into the walls of Tetscat, and there's some Silverwind officials in there, they see our information, they identify us, they could, 1, withhold our IDs for indefinitely, and 2, straight up try to find us and kill us on spot.
Or the people we know?
So we are looking to work with you to get information to see if at all how corrupt the city is. I know the city and the people here are well known for being very honorable, but you never know if there's like a loose end somewhere where somebody is speaking. I'm asking how large the Silverwind presence is in the city, because we were told that the faceless were chased out. And also wondering if you have any knowledge as to how those events went down. Like, were there arrests, or was everyone like killed?
Make a persuasion check.
At
Yeah,
advantage.
Okay. As you sort of say all these words, his facial expression does not move. He's just sitting there, pretty much just sitting there. He doesn't look like the most healthily built dude. He's actually kind of skinny. He just looks at you. Sounds rough.
That's rough, buddy.
This concerns me. How?
What do you want?
He just looks really hard at you, Chris. Like really hard.
Can I would like to discreetly, I can't discreetly turn to her, but I would like to turn to Claudine and discreetly cast message, and I would like to ask her, what did she have to give him for the information she received?
Make a sleight of hand check.
There you go. Oh,
Well,
that's not an advantage, but yeah.
Okay, you basically just do it with your tongue while you're saying the message at the same time.
I'm imagining Kiraham for some reason.
Of course.
Yeah. She sort of just brushes her nose, looking in the other direction, and just under her breath, what everyone wants, money.
Okay. I'm gonna turn back around and I'm gonna hang out the this big ass gangster chain that I have, valued at 600 to 800 gold, was what you said, Simon. And I'm gonna flash it in front of his eyes, and I'm going to say, I'm asking again for you to work with us here. We need to get into the city, and we need to leave undetected.
Okay. He looks at you, Zero. Before you, he starts snapping his fingers while holding his hand out.
Yeah, I'll let him have it. I'll toss it to him.
Sure. He catches it with one hand and he pulls down this like apparatus around his face and starts pulling out these like lenses attached to his head. It's not dissimilar to Yvette's.
Zoom.
It looks a little bit different, but sort of similar. Yeah, it looks like it's just a general tinkerer's headgear to like look at things finally. And he's sort of just expecting it, sort of just like running each link of the chain like through his fingers and like occasionally biting into it to make sure it's real. Okay. He sort of just looks to Claudine. I didn't realize that I'd be working with a loudmouth. As Claudine just sort of looks, does the shrug emoji pretty much.
I'll just say, she's not loud. We just have really good ears.
What do you want to know?
I want to know anything that we may need before we hatch up any plan to enter the city. I want to know what kind of defense mechanism you guys have up at the gates to detect magic. I want to know how effective that is over the wall. I want to know what the presence of Silverwind is like in the city. How frequently the guards stop and frisk, whatever you're able to give me.
I don't know too much about the wall, considering I didn't work there. I do know that there's a control room. There's some ruin that some freak show keeps inscribing there occasionally. That seems to connect to that control room somehow. That control room connects all of the communications around the walls. What exactly are you planning on doing inside there?
We are on a retrieval mission, if you will. We don't plan on being here for too long, and we're not going to cause any trouble. And I look at Chris, and I'm just going to tell him we're only here to collect some stuff and then leave quickly.
Right, but to where? I can't give you defenses if I don't know where you're going.
We are heading to...
What was that building?
Fucking map.
No.
The old dredge?
No, the building with the not Parliament. Stonehold?
Oh yeah, the government building.
Hold on, why do we need to go there?
Why we don't need to do that anymore, not if we're getting in a different way.
Don't?
No, because that was only to
what about...
rush our passports. But if we're getting in a different way, I don't think we need that. We are still trying to weigh our options here. So yeah, the dredge and then the government building are two spots we're considering.
He sort of looks to Claudine and he just goes, you know, when I suggested breaking into Stone Home, that was a joke, right? Claudine just goes, oh, I like a challenge.
Me too.
Riley is going to he's going to say, so tell me, would this help at all? He's going to cast invisibility on himself. And
Well,
verbalize,
you can
like,
just say you can go invisible, right?
I figured, showing it off would be, get the point across a little bit more.
Well, you'll also have to deal with, the magic gate sensor things, right? They're not the only ones. Stoneholm has 2 that I know of. One at the first entrance, ground level, one on the second floor.
That is problematic.
Stoneholm's separated into 2 parts. There's the head of Stoneholm, that's the actual column that you see back there. There's 13 layers. I've only ever been to 7 of them. I don't know what's beyond that. A lot of offices, kitchens, and the security checkpoint. That's the one if you're going to Stoneholm, which I think is personally suicide. That's the main thing you'd want to deal with. The old dredge is the city abandoned that a long time ago. It's just slums now, homeless, crime-ridden. The guards have completely abandoned it. They just let them do whatever they want now. Kill each other off for all I care.
Oh, sorry, this is out of character. That sounds like a lot of fun. Let's go there.
Yeah, honestly, that's great for us.
So there's no guard presence there. Do you think maybe a large mining operation would go unchecked?
I mean, there used to be a large mining operation. There's still tools. There are some people still trying to illegally delve into the collapsed mines for riches. A lot of them don't come back. Either stabbed by another person trying to steal their claim, or dig up something that should have been left buried.
Ooh.
So then, there's
Tell
ancient
me more
relics
about
there?
that. What kind of things are you talking about that should have been left buried?
I don't know. They called it. Some monster apparently came up there, so they collapsed the mine just to contain it.
Well, that sounds very interesting. I'd like to know more about that.
I would as well.
Say N. Say N.
I take it you don't know a whole lot about this monster.
No, I was out of work when it happened.
It happened.
And there was no talk of it
exactly.
after you left work.
When did this happen?
About 100 years ago.
Jesus Christ, I forgot how old gnomes can be. That's out of character. That's out of character. Not gnomes, dwarves. That's out of character.
Has anyone told you that you're a racist? We're not all alike.
Riley will pop back into existence. And... a monster,
I, for one, am very interested in finding out more about that. Chris, did the Pratchel know anything about that? Any mention of that?
I don't think so.
What do you mean you don't think so? Did he mention a terrifying monster?
No. The only monster he told me about was the bullets.
It's not like it's an unusual occurrence. The mines are some of the most heavily defended places in this city. I mean, they're digging deep underground. They're going to unleash something sooner or later. Just this one time, it seems it was a bit too much for the guards to handle. Still don't know what it was, but it was bad enough that they abandoned the whole mine just to contain it. That's a story, at least.
Well, it sounds to me that's kind of got to be something to do with what we're looking for.
100 years. I don't suppose there's any proof of this monster.
Not really, except they abandoned the mines. It's more of a wives' tale these days, anyway.
Do you have a wife?
I thought this was strictly business.
Maybe she knows the tale. Anyway, back to business.
If you were in our situation, what would you do? We have teleportation available to us, but it comes at a really high risk that we might get fucking killed, or we
Well, no, it's only
have...
Pratchel that's at risk.
That's still a pretty big risk. Anyway, we also have an underground option, but that would possibly bring a lot of attention. And then our original plan was to fucking infiltrate a government building, which sounds like a bad, terrible, awful idea now. What would you do?
I'd probably find someone that can forge fake documents and get into the city.
Does he like turn and look at the camera and like smile?
No, he looks dead into your eyes. He's like a dead fish inside.
Riley's going to turn to Claudine and say, so do you still think Stoneholm is a good play, or should we wait?
No, I'm following your guys' lead. As long as I get inside, I don't care.
If we bring you the crystals, how long will it take for the ID to be made? Because right now we are kind of running on limited time. That's the whole reason why we were kind of rushing in with very little information.
The way the permit sleeves are created, they reflect light in a certain way. If even a little bit is off, they're gonna know it's a fake. Luckily, I'm the only person that can make one. It'd be about a day for each permit I make. So if it's the 6 of you, it'd be 6 days.
1 week is significantly shorter than 8. So, could you find the crystals in the old dredge?
You find the crystals anywhere it's deep.
Oh, it sounds like a starting point, then.
But, I mean, if we're getting to the old dredge, we don't really need the passports anymore anyways.
I mean, we might. We don't know how much longer we'll be in the city.
Where, pray tell, there's an ancient hammer somewhere. Where is that located?
There's a museum of Dwarven history. That's if you're looking at that gavel thing.
That's the one I'm talking about.
It's located somewhere in the Forge Core.
Forge Quarter.
Forge Core.
Oh, core.
It's where a lot of the industry is placed. A lot of dwarves live there.
Are you going to reveal that on the map so I can get an idea as to where that is?
Yes.
Excellent.
Probably the center.
Yeah, I mean core. That's, definitely.
Okay, you probably know where these things are by now.
Yeah, I figured that was Stoneholm. Forge Core is B. Ah, yes, okay. The place with the massive spiraling torch thing.
Forge Core is my favorite genre of music.
Yo,
those industrial hammersmith beats, man. I love the sound of burning charcoal.
I love this song. Hmm. 500 GP though.
We don't know how much we can make with Claudine though. She seems to think that there's a lot of like winnings to be had here in the city.
That's definitely true, but getting your hands on them is going to be the hard part. And then partnering with him as well. You really think Claudine wants to split the riches with us?
I'm going to lean into Riley. I'm going to be like, more like, do I want to split the riches with her? But okay.
Now.
Can everyone split the riches with me?
You get nothing.
Good day, sir.
Is it 500 G per license, or is that all of them together?
Per license.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot
But
of
it's
quality.
also
What if we had
did
a
we ask-
license already? Would you be able to forge a fake one out of one that already exists?
Oh yeah. Like the glass is already intact.
Show me.
I
0.
will
0.
show him this
The
very
poopy
nicely
license.
well cleaned ID that I
Please
gained.
use soap.
I-
You rinsed it.
I cleaned it. It's clean.
I didn't see that Dawn detergent.
It's clean. Dawn detergent.
Oh, Mr. Clean Magic Eraser there.
You don't know what I did.
You produced the license.
I take it out of my bag using my mage hand and hand it to him with my mage hand.
Okay, it just sort of gently floats over to him. He sort of takes it, and he uses those lenses on his caps again. Older version. Luckily, there's a flaw with the older version. You can, and he takes a pair of tweezers, and he holds the license in a weird grip, and then you see he applies some pressure as he sort of slides the tweezer into this piece of glass and extracts the paper. It has some
Fuck
flaws.
yeah.
Oh, this is money.
Damn, so
Or could
this is
you,
out
like,
of, this is
slip a
out of
new one in?
character. This is out of character. If we like stole like 5 more of those, 4 more of those, we'd be good to go, huh? Like we could just
Yeah.
steal
let's
some
do it.
IDs off people. Oh, why didn't I think
Dude,
of that?
Let's do some fucking find some Sons of Old clan. They deserve it.
Yeah, they need
Yeah.
to be.
Riley is in
Old.
full support of that plan.
Well, and
They
That's a
have
much better plan.
Hold on, what does he need to do to change it?
This only applies to older licenses. There's a flaw in there for one batch of these sheaths here.
How do you
Unless you-
determine which ones are old or not?
They have a bit of a flex when you squeeze them the right way.
Hmm.
The sealing between the two plates wasn't perfect. It was still
Do you
had a
most-
bit light, but
If
Do
I
most
bring
local people have those type of licenses? Like people who live here permanently?
no, they fixed that bypass a long time ago. You lucked out finding this one, but you can find 5 more of these. I can definitely do something about it. It's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
Oh,
How
shit,
much?
though.
Well, considering that I don't need the sheath anymore, now you're just paying for my services. Let's call it 200 gold each. Assuming you get the sheaths.
That's a pretty good deal.
So, I mean, can I like
like
take the ID and feel it in my hand to see if I can kind of like remember what the flexiness feels like? Because he said that these are like more flexible than the new ones, right?
If you squeeze them that way, out of character, just to make it easier to understand, the licenses are formed by 2 pieces of plate of this crystal that they seal together somehow. The flaw is that one side of this plate didn't seal properly, so if you squeeze it, it sort of flexes a little bit. That you can slide something very thin into it, which you use tweezers. Yeah, you can take the sheath. He has the paper outside of it now. Make a general perception check.
With guidance.
Thank you. I'm gonna need it. I hate
You got it.
here.
D4, baby.
D4.
You got it.
You are holding a piece of glass, like you're pressing it like this, kind of the same way that he was, and you can't feel shit.
Does Riley's passive perception pick up on any like weird folding that's going on as they're doing this?
No, you don't.
Fuck. What about if I bring out Zoom Zoom?
You can make a perception check with advantage if you like.
I'll try that, yeah.
So we're trying to
Alright.
fold it in their hand, and they're like, "Sounds fake, but okay."
Zero, can I see that for a second?
Yeah, I'll give it to Riley.
Riley's going to put on the zoom, and he's going to attempt to find the flaw.
Okay, make up a perception check with advantage.
Cool. Wow, my perception is actually amazing.
Hey!
Yo.
Yeah, actually, like the side that he slid it out of, and as you sort of squeeze it like on the edges, you can see that it barely moves. Like it goes completely flush to like less than a centimeter opening. That's the flaw that he's exploiting, is less than a centimeter. No, less than a millimeter. Sorry.
That is some master craftswork in order to fucking be able to detect that small of a change. Tickle me impressed.
Or you learn a couple things when you get to my age.
About how many people in the slums outside of the wall here would you say have these IDs?
Outside in the slums, there's probably less than 1,000 of these ever made. And I bet most of them are just citizens, even.
So, would you say that the sons of the old clan would be most likely to have these?
They were just given out to anybody. It's not like they gave it to a whole batch of people.
Follow-up question. Do you happen to know where we could find a large group of the Sons of Old Clan? Perhaps a favorite hangout spot or a hideout or something like that?
No. And if I did, I still wouldn't tell you.
That's fair.
Out of character. Did we ask about Silverwind yet? Did I
We did.
zone out? Okay.
We did.
He's alive, so I'm assuming he's not with them.
Wait, did he ever really answer about Silverwind specifically though? Like we brought it up, but we brought up like 20 questions and he answered one after the other. But I don't remember like a clear answer about Silverwind.
His answer was, dunno. Actually, now that the topic of Sons of the Old Clan has come up, Riley's going to read his mind.
Okay. Okay, his surface thoughts are, I still hope these people have money. And
Deeper.
that wasn't all of it. Sure, he needs to make a wisdom save.
DC 17.
Are we those people?
Of course, yeah.
Damn, he rolled super low. Okay. His deeper thoughts are, they have money, but they're asking a lot of questions.
That's fair.
And I'll just say for the hell of it, you get the sense that, because you're delving to his mind, that he's in a don't ask, don't tell business, and you're making him tell a lot.
All right.
Jaina's gonna give him 10 gold for this exchange. Just to be like, thank you for the information.
I mean, we already gave him like 600 to 800.
We
She's
did not
giving
yet.
him another
Jana's
10.
helping.
I mean, yeah, I guess we did.
Jana's helping.
Jaina is helping, you're right. I'm sure he appreciates it.
Is there anything else, or can I go back to sleep now?
Wait,
Does
Jana,
Riley-
is there anything else?
Does Riley... I think Riley has pillows in his inventory, right?
You're gonna
Why?
give him a good night's sleep?
He has a sweet cushion. Riley will give him the sweet cushion.
Oh, where'd you get the sweet cushion from?
I don't know. It's not in my inventory proper. It's in my treasure, which is apparently different.
Is it like a very cool pillow, or is it like a marshmallow shaped cushion?
I don't know. I don't even
it
remember
be
where I
both?
got this from. But I'm gonna pass it off and say, looks like you could use something like this.
Sweet dreams.
I'd like to ask him, do you know about the gravekeepers?
Why?
Why?
Are we just going down this line of questioning? Do you know Luca? Out of character.
Hey,
This
I'm
is
looking
out of
for my good
character.
buddy
Do not
Luca.
ask. Did not ask that.
I want to read his face. Like I know I'm just acid perception checks and insight checks, but I want to read his face as Chris is asking him this.
Okay. A, he says why. B, make a perception insight check.
Nah, 20. Nah, 20. No.
You can't even tell. Like it's pretty dusty in here, and some shit got your eye, and you're sort of rubbing it. Like it could be dust, it could be asbestos. Who knows?
Does he accept the cushion?
He does. He doesn't say anything
Okay.
about it. But he does.
All right.
Would you know anything about like the gravekeepers at all?
No.
Okay. What about anyone named Luca?
No, you don't.
We're not fucking doing this. Oh my god.
Gianna's walking away.
No.
Okay.
Okay, but the long story short, it should be easy enough for us to get to the old dredge. That's probably... Would you say that is the easiest part of the city to get into?
Get into, maybe, to get out of, without being robbed of everything you have or being crushed by a cave-in. Maybe
I'd like
less
to
so.
see them try.
Honestly.
I'd like to see the rocks try to crush us.
Jana can't die.
She does a squat in her booty shorts.
Okay, I'm gonna... Shit, do I have anything else to give him?
Does he want a dead body? I don't ask that. Deirdre wants to keep the dead body.
Of course she does.
I mean, hey, they're useful. They come in handy.
I'm
That's
just gonna hand him, like... I know we gave him a lot of gold. I don't care. I'm gonna give him, like, 50 more gold and just say thank you again for all your help. I know you didn't have to do this, but we appreciate it nonetheless, and we are going to weigh our options, and we'll probably be back within the next couple of days, if not today. Enjoy your sleep. And I'm going to hand him 50 gold. I don't know if I already said that already.
Yep. Okay. He takes a gold. He also says, don't come back unless you're buying.
Yeah. That's not in character. That's not in
One more
character.
thing. Do you want this license back to how you found it, or?
Yeah, for now. In
Okay.
case I need it for now. But we'll definitely be back.
Okay. Yeah, he takes a even thinner piece of like tweezers. Like it almost looks like a metal rod, but there is like a slight separation, and he uses that to shove the piece of paper back in.
Nice.
Okay, and he hands it back to you.
Cool. I'm just going to give a little respectful nod, and I will turn to exit.
All right, what's next on the agenda then? Find a
I
good
say
spot for the bullets.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that seems like our best course of action here. Unless y'all are feeling down for some teleportation, because that feels like the easiest option.
No, what? The easiest option was to steal some IDs.
In theory.
Well, that's assuming we can find them, because he did say only 1,000 were ever made, and they're probably within the city walls.
And there's no way to tell at a glance which one accessed which.
I mean, if
Wait
we
a
find-
second! Locate object!
Oh my god.
Isn't that for like a specific item though?
But
I mean,
yeah, this is
you
a very
can
specific
designate a
item.
general type of item.
Can we not specify this specific kind of ID glass? Or is that beyond its scope?
Yeah, it can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon. Within 1,000 feet.
Locate objects.
What game are they playing, Simon? Can we know? The suspense is killing me.
The ring game?
The Ring Fit Adventure?
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear them outside? Jesus. I think they're playing Rocket League, as I checked.
Gross.
Oh, fuck you.
Gamers.
At
Whoa.
least it's not League, am I right?
Deirdre, make a preemptive perception check.
Preemptive perception check?
Mhm.
What for?
Okay. Yeah, but so I'll say that though you know that there's a flaw, you didn't get to see it very close, so you wouldn't be able to locate the object. Unless you have seen the particular flaw.
I mean, he did open and close it in front of us.
Can Jana make the perception check? Because she can also prepare that spell.
Sure.
Would you like to try my Zoom Zoom?
Sure. Is that, do I have to attune to that?
Nope, it's just an object. Go ahead, try it.
She puts it on. What are these? These are crazy goggles, right?
Yeah, it's like a head. Yeah, it's like a pair of goggles that with like infinitely overlapping lenses that like over time just magnifies your vision until you look like Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys.
Do I get advantage now? Is that what happens?
Yes.
And guidance?
Theoretically.
Jana slaps herself on the ass.
Let's get a... Watch this be a nat one anyway.
2 nat ones.
It's happened.
Oh.
It has happened.
Yeah, it happened last session.
Hey.
25.
You rolled just enough to.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He was at 25 because it is
Hell yeah.
almost because unless you're looking at it with a specialized object, which Zoom Zoom is, or you have unbelievably high perception, it's incredibly difficult to spot. That's why Deirdre wouldn't be able to do it unless she's actually seen it. Because it is the opening is less than a millimeter. It's like flexing those like plastic card sleeves, except but like a fraction of a fraction. Yeah, like zooming up close, you can see where the binding fails, and you see it open up barely, like just enough for a piece of paper to slip out, like almost the exact same width.
Can Jana and Good Spirit attempt to point this out to Deirdre, even though they don't have Zoom Zoom?
Yeah, you can try, but Deirdre's already failed the perception check, so.
Okay. Jana feeling confident in what she's looking for is going to take Zoom Zoom off and be like, I can cast this when I go to sleep. After I go to sleep.
Alright, there's also the issue of we still do need to find them, even with the spell, to locate them. And we need to take them off of the residents, who will then possibly not have a way to access their homes.
That is a bit of a problem.
Unless we give it back when we're done.
It's
True.
for the greater good.
Well, I mean, we need to keep it for our own ideas.
For now, not indefinitely.
Right, we're gonna leave eventually.
Yes, but we'd probably have to pay an additional fee in order to have them changed back, and at that point, we might as well just get pay the regular price.
Well, we've already done that.
Not the
We just have to
regular
wait.
price.
Well, because
The regular price is like 1,500, no? Simon?
Wait,
Well, it was 500 gold with the crystal.
It's 500 discounted, assuming you got the guy his crystals, which he doesn't have any right now. It was 1,500 for like the process of getting crystals, making the exact replica of the sleeves, and also the copying of false information. So if you guys got him crystal, it would be 500. But because you guys found a way to
I still think our best bet is the bullets.
Sure, for getting in. But
I would say maybe more for getting out, because again, I'm trying to go as undetected as possible in the city, and I think a seemingly legal ID was the best way to do it.
All right. Would Deirdre have a cursory understanding of how the teleport spell works?
Do you have teleport?
I do not have teleport.
Then no.
Damn it. Chris, how does the teleport spell work exactly?
Would I even know that?
Do you have teleport?
No.
You did live with a
But I
guy.
do have...
Make an Arcana check, because you lived with the dude. So
Yeah, plus I have sort of teleportation.
yeah, your conjuration. Oh, there we go. Okay. Chris, you know it's a pretty high level conjuration spell, out of your grasp at the moment. It basically teleports you pretty much anywhere in the world that you have a general idea of. The better idea that you have of the area, the more likely it's gonna succeed. With the only way of permanent success is having a teleportation circle, a permanent teleportation circle, or some sort of associated object that allows for that teleportation, pretty much. If you're just teleporting to like an area, then there are chances of mishaps, or chances of being off by a couple feet or a couple miles. So it's pretty unpredictable. But the familiarity of the location you're teleporting to is key. And considering that, according to Pratchell, he teleported somewhere within the city and then he ran. So he has no idea where you guys are, what it looks like. Yeah, so the only place he has any familiarity with at all, and that's not even like that familiar, is like the place he's in right now. Which is fun fact, he doesn't even know where to send the bullets. He doesn't know where you guys are. He doesn't know where you are on the map. He doesn't have a map. He knows he's just in Tetscat.
Right. But hypothetically, he could take a rock from his current location as an associated object. And then we could take something from outside of the city as an associated object. And assuming he can teleport to us, or we can get to him, we could teleport back to either place without issue.
Would he not be able to pinpoint Chris as an object to teleport to?
Well, people aren't generally objects.
Hmm.
And also, I think he has to have it on him for the casting of the spell, I would assume, probably. Otherwise, he could just think of something and teleport there, which is, I guess, how the spell works, but I don't really know.
Hey, didn't he like teleport across the entire fucking country?
Yeah, that's the point.
Had
He got
ever
inside
been
the
to
city.
Tetscat? I mean, had he ever been to Tetscat already, though?
Mm-mm.
There's a chance for it to fail.
Mm-hmm. I think just going to somewhere that you have a description of is like something like a 15% chance that it goes off without a hitch.
I don't know about you,
it's
but dying
a
through
spell.
teleportation sounds like a really shitty way to lose my character. I don't know about that.
I mean, with an associated object, it's a 100% chance of success, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Not that Deirdre would
So
have that information, but yes.
I mean, Chris just said that, or knows that. Does Chris share?
Yep, he shares.
Okay. So getting out isn't an issue once we can get in.
Pratchell could just teleport back to where he started and then teleport from there.
But how does that get us in?
Well, he teleports out, and then he teleports out again to us, and then we wait, and then we teleport again.
But how does he get to us?
I don't know. I mean, once he's back in the city proper, he can just look outside the mountain and teleport there, and then we go find him.
Like, how is he going to get to us in the first place? Just the same method.
I mean, you could always... What was that thing that Deirdre can do?
What thing?
Where you, like, talk to people long distance?
Sending.
That's the one.
I mean, yeah, I can just send him a DM, but how does that help us?
Oh,
Like, does Pratchell have a compass? Can I just tell him, like, we're, like, southwest?
if he's in the city proper, or outside the city proper, all he has to do is describe his surroundings, and then we can go to him.
Yes, but how does he send the bullets to us so we can get...
I wasn't talking about anything regarding billets.
Well, we know that he's at the Old Dredge. We know where that is.
Yes.
We
But
know
the
where it
issue
is
is
on the
And I'm
map.
saying
We've
how
never
we
been
get
there.
in is he teleports out of there and then teleports us in.
I don't
What I can
understand.
do is
I don't know how to
I can-
simplify my explanation.
He teleports out and teleports.
I can cast Dream to make the setting look like where we are.
Yeah, that'll work. Just show him a map and just do it that way. That way he'll know where he is and he'll know where we are and he'll know where to send the bullets.
Then shouldn't we find a spot that's kind of out of the way? And, incognito so that, they're not sent straight to the hotel or the shelter.
Sounds good to me. We can just find a nice, relatively open area. But not too open, And then maybe, Zero, you can put up some illusions so it seems like the ground is in fact still there. And we can just hop in and then cover it back up so the ground is in fact still there. And then we can go to Pratchell. And then that's it, we're done.
What about our IDs?
We can get IDs if we need them later.
How?
But for now,
Well, we can wait, first of all.
yes, well...
You don't think it would look weird if we're already in the city and we're like, hey,
We're
we
in the
need our
old
IDs
dredge.
now.
You don't need anything in the old dredge. Nobody goes in there. Even the guards have fucked off.
I know, but I'm saying if we stay in Tetscat longer and we find other stuff that we need to get done in the city, past the walls.
I feel like that's an issue. That
If we're going into the old dredge, we're going to find the crystals anyway. We could also potentially find some of those older IDs on somebody in the old dredge. Because, thieves and the like, they might have had the same idea we have.
That, and also people in the old dredge, I feel like are more likely to have these older IDs because they feel like the kind of people that they're abandoned from my gathering of information here that we've had.
What do you think, Josie?
I'm not really sure.
I'm not either.
What does Claudine think?
I'm just following your lead.
She's just vibing.
I am simply vibing.
Incredible. Yeah, I feel like if we end up needing IDs, that's something we can just go back and get.
I mean, when I say that though, I don't mean like, oh, we're gonna go to the fucking club. We need our ID to get in. I'm talking about getting like stopped. At that point, it's too late to go get an ID.
There are that doesn't happen in the old dredge. it's been abandoned by the city and the guards.
Can somebody give me your Bowen? Give me your plan from start to finish, because I keep hearing everyone talk about 2 different plans. Because I think you were talking about the bullets, and Jesse was talking about the bullets, and you were talking about teleportation. Can I hear the plan from start to finish?
Okay, so I mean, we have several options, but the one that I was going on an argument about is Pratchell can, from where he is now, teleport back into the city where he started from. And from there, he can get a look outside and teleport there as well, so that he has his bearings set, right? As soon as he gets back into the city proper, he'll know where he can go from there. And since he's been in the city proper, he'll know how to get back via teleportation. So it would be a bit of a process, but he can do that. And then once he's outside of the city, we find him and we teleport back in. I don't know how many spell slots that would take for him. So we'd probably have to wait a night with him in our company, just to get back in. But once we're back in, how many? Chris, do we know how many people teleport spell can take at once?
Would I know that?
8 willing creatures. You and up to
8
8 willing creatures. So 9 technically, including himself.
That's basically our entire party plus Azek and so we have 6 right now. 6 humans, 7 is Pratchell, Azek, Giorgio. That's everyone. We just leave our horses behind. He doesn't count? Oh, there you go. I wonder if we could take
Morim.
Who? Morim? Where would we bring Morim to the old dredge?
For fun, for a party.
No.
What are you talking about?
Absolutely not.
Morim, would you like to go to Skid Row?
What are you on? Did Chris take some fucking Arcanium or something? What's up?
Morim, I heard of a club called Somalia. It would be great.
Yeah, so that was what I was arguing for. The bullets could also work, but I think ours, as long as... What level spell is teleportation?
7.
7? Does he have 2 level 7 spell slots?
Probably not.
But
I don't know.
Is Pratchell coherent enough to follow instructions and get
Probably
this
not.
done?
I feel like just Chris
Have we ever
casting Dream
seen
and just showing him the meetup spot and how to get there and sending the bullets there is our best plan of action.
Have we ever seen Pratchell cooperate with anybody and follow instructions?
I mean, he has an interest in getting us there safely.
If Chris is involved, he'll
get Chris there safely.
Mm-hmm. And Chris is part of us, so...
No, not necessarily. He literally dislikes almost all of us.
I mean, what's he gonna do? Kill us on purpose? Because he would have to literally kill us on purpose.
You don't underestimate him.
He did.
He doesn't give a shit about our lives. Okay, he does not. He will not.
What did he say?
He did tell me before before we ended the dream that he hates you guys.
I don't know about a plan that relies on the cooperation.
Does Chris say that? Is that in character?
Yeah.
Because Deirdre has a very like uncertain image of this guy. Like, why does he hate you? Who is this man?
I like to think that the rest of this conversation was out of character, and so Chris, with no like conversation, said, "Oh, practically hates all of you." Like, by the way, guys.
All right, so that feels like a good plan to me, though. Like, because our options are some iffy teleportation, or sending the bullets deep into the earth and hoping Pratchell doesn't kill us out of spite.
I like how in that like 2 minutes, Pratchell will suddenly become an obstacle.
Suddenly, suddenly the Stonehome heist is sounding a lot better, isn't it?
Well, I vote bullets. Where does everybody else stand?
At this point, I don't care.
Yes, honestly, this is just starting to feel like more effort than it's worth.
I don't think it is. I do not think that this is one of those things that is like a valid reason. Like, okay, we're overthinking this. We're over planning. Like, we're literally trying to break into a city that has like really high security, and we don't know what it's going to be like when we get in there. So there's a lot of options that, though we may think they're unlikely, we cannot weigh out. We don't know. Like, no one in this party can say with absolute certainty that XYZ is not going to happen. You can probably say, oh, it probably won't. Sure, I could say that all day, but like, we don't know anything and we can't prepare for everything, sure, but I'm just like, I think if we really sit on it for a second, we could try to find something that's a little bit more foolproof than a couple of giant creatures rumbling underground and coming to pick us up like a fucking Uber.
I really like the idea of finding other IDs.
Yeah.
It seems like the lowest effort, maximum outcome.
But we would have to steal people's IDs, and they wouldn't have access to their homes for as long as we have their IDs.
Riley's only okay with doing that if the victims are sons of the old clan.
Right, so there's that. Either we can steal from the sons of the old clan who don't fucking deserve an ID, or I'm willing, after we go in the city and we do some fucking stealing with Claudine, to come back out and fix the IDs and hopefully try to track down the people they belong to.
That's a lot of hopefullys.
I mean, if we don't actually track them down, that sucks. They'll have to just apply for another one, like we did. Besides, they're not going to know that we stole it with intention to... Like, we're not, like, taking their identity. We're literally just stealing their physical ID, and they won't know where the fuck it went. They probably, like, just misplaced it or something.
So, if that's the case, shouldn't we start stealthing around and find out where the sons of the old clan hide? Even if their IDs are not, proper. If we can get those crystals back, that'll save us some time.
Yeah. I don't know that we asked him, Simon. Can he do anything with IDs that are not older? Like, he said that there was, like, a fault in the older ones, which is why he was able to, like, bend it like that. But the newer ones, he can't exploit it in the same way, right? They're just set like that.
No, he wouldn't be able to do anything with the ones without the faults, because they're completely sealed off, and because it's made of crystal, basically like a sort of glass-like substance. Tampering with it would make it pretty obvious that it's been tampered with. It's just that the fault itself was made during manufacturing that made it so fine that it's pretty much imperceptible unless you know what you're looking for. but the other ones, all the newer ones, fix that fault pretty much, and they're just completely sealed up.
Wouldn't we be able to? Oh, what if we stole some IDs and then cast minor illusion on them?
They could detect it.
Shit, you're right. Well, but the guards have the magical know-hows to figure that out if we slip in undetected first.
What
And we
if,
don't know that.
what if we use the one and put people in a bag of holding?
Because that's
They
still,
would search it.
yeah, they would search it, and then I don't know how long it would take to go through like TSA again. If they somehow didn't find you guys in there, you guys might all suffocate. I think we could possibly do two of the plans at almost the same time. We could definitely do the finding and stealing IDs thing because, again, it's almost effortless. So we just have to go and pickpocket people and just hope for the best. Obviously, we can't like go hunt them down. I know Janet can hunt them down. Can she like actually hunt it? Oh yeah. So we can actually just go try to see how many we can find. And the slums are huge. I know Simon said there's only like 1,000 in the city, but there's maybe the chance that there's at least 5 more out here.
It's worth a shot anyway. We lose nothing by trying.
Yeah, and then at the same time, we can also organize. I don't know about the teleportation. I think the bullets is a better decision if you ask me personally, but I think we could try to coordinate the IDs thing and something else because I do think once we get in the city, we're gonna need IDs anyway, especially if we want to get into the actual city. We're not gonna spend all of our time in the slums.
I mean, what do we need to go into the city for other than the old dredge?
We don't know yet. Things could change.
To check out that dwarven museum.
Right, and there's like we're just in a new place. We could just go have fun. I mean, not like have a fucking vacation, but like there's a whole city here that we've never been to. I think it'd be a waste to just come here just to stay on the outskirts of it and not even go in. And like I think as of right now, we don't know of a reason, but once we go in and we get Pratchell, we're probably going to see some further developments in what we need to get done, and we're probably going to have to need to go back to the city anyway.
So, Jana doesn't have locate object prepared right now, right?
Correct.
In which case, we should sleep on it.
Yeah, I think we could even, I mean, I don't know how comfortable you guys are with it, but we could probably even split up the party to do this, like 3 and 3. Me and Deirdre, not Deirdre, me and Jenna and Claudine can go search for them and pickpocket people while Chris and Riley and Deirdre try to find a place to like have the bullets meet. But maybe like in the slums only, like let's kind of stay in the same general area. If you guys have to leave the slums and travel into like that open land where we're not supposed to be, then I would say never mind about splitting the party. I think we should all be together for that. But
furthermore,
asking things we could do
for stealthing around and stealing IDs, invisibility would really come in handy.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, if we're gonna find the bullets, like a spot for the bullets, we can just do that today. Well, we can all stay together, and we don't have to split up.
Also, I'm trying to keep in mind the time because we agreed that this wasn't going to be like a whole session.
But I mean, finding a spot for the bullets shouldn't take too long. Like, out of character.
So
that's assuming Pratchell can even, well, then again, dream.
Yeah. That sounds like the most surefire plan to me. Is just dreaming Pratchell all the information he needs to know to get the bullets to us. And then just going from there.
Why don't we square that one off right now then, since we can't use locate object anyway?
Yeah. Sounds good to me. Simon, can we find a good bullet spot?
Where would you find a good bullet spot? What would you think would be a good bullet spot?
What is the area over here? Yeah, over here.
It's pretty much just hills and grass plains.
And guards aren't typically seen out here?
They're seen around the outskirts, but you haven't been that far yet, so.
My worry is that the guards up on the wall would be like looking down on these big open plains for any people walking around. Because someone said that they don't like people just walking around getting into trouble. So they if they see us, they might like investigate. So I feel like somewhere in the slums would be ideal.
What about this little triangle building?
What about that little triangle building? Like how you're tickling with your arrow.
Yeah, can we go in that one?
I feel like somewhere in this little like area over here would be a good place to find a bullet spot.
If we found something sturdy enough that was abandoned, I think we could probably have them surface in there, and that would be enough cover for us to go down and close up the hole before the guards find the exit point.
That's a pretty good idea, actually. Yeah, let's I guess find an abandoned building somewhere in the slums.
Okay. Sure. Who's going to be searching for a hut?
I mean, everyone probably.
Everybody. Okay.
I'm not.
Who's gonna be leading the hut search?
I will.
Okay.
Make an investigation check.
Yeah, they're just going to assist, I guess, for advantage.
For advantage.
Yes. With the help action of also looking for a hut, because she's looking for the hut.
Okay, so roll again.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Within the first 2 hours, no hut. You can keep searching if you like.
Can I help him the second time after wasting 2 hours? Can Zero step up and try to help him maybe with Azik as well?
Okay. Sure. So the first 2 hours go by. No, like all the you see huts, but they seem to be all occupied, pretty much. Cool. So Chris, make another investigation check, and Zero, you either roll for Azik or your own investigation check, or help him. Up to you.
I'm going to help Zero this time because Chris is a dead end. No shade.
What do I roll for help as an advantage? I'm gonna roll for Zero. I'm just gonna do Zero's stats.
Whatever. I usually just have pairs of 2 do searches, but whatever.
That would split the party, and that's no good.
That's not what he means. He means like helping. Help action.
Well, I usually have like a maximum of 2 do anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't need to roll with advantage because I have a high enough investigation anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see?
That's it.
Cool. You do find a hut. Right about
It's perfect hut. It's the loveliest hut we've ever seen. Perfect in every way.
I'll let you choose a spot. Where do you want to find a hut?
I closed the map by accident. Hold on.
How do you do that? I have you on the map. Like
I accidentally closed the Roll20 window because my mouse is like one of those smart mice mouses. I don't know. It like if I swipe on it the wrong way, I like go back a page.
That's stupid. Like a dumb bitch
Well,
mouse.
It is. I keep disconnecting like every 5 minutes because my finger just swipes it the wrong way. Okay, what are my options here for where I can find it?
Pick a spot outside the walls. That's your options.
Okay, let's go like right under where the B is for two, the B right there. Somewhere in there.
Right there?
Yeah, somewhere nice and big. Unless, okay, what kind of area is that? Is it like a highly populated area?
This is right next to one of the main roads.
Yeah.
But it is, let me see what the building looks like. Yeah, it is an area with what looks like to be like an abandoned warehouse.
What's the guard presence like over here?
Higher than in the slums.
Okay, can we preferably find something off the main road? I was going for like borders of the edges of town, but those are easily accessible, so maybe I should go deeper in. Maybe somewhere above the B, perhaps.
Okay, so not far from where Belos Stratus is located.
From where who was located? What did you say?
Mr. Forger Man.
Yeah, his name was Belos Stratus. That's
little
Claudine.
bit high.
Mr. Forger Man.
Mr.
Can we
Forger.
Can we get a little
Forger
bit farther?
dude.
Can we go up a little right there? Yeah.
Okay. This one is a little bit tighter. No, the building you're that's here seems to be some sort of tavern that looks like it's been closed down or burnt down. It's pretty much just the cobblestone left. There's no roof or anything, but it's abandoned. So this takes about another part of an hour.
What do you think, gang? It don't got no fucking roof.
Is that building next door okay that do have a roof?
No.
What do you mean okay?
Damn
like
it.
empty? Like what do you mean by okay?
Yeah, like acceptable for the purposes of our thing here, but Simon said no.
How long would it take to make a makeshift roof using mending?
Impossible, because it's
Okay.
that's too big of a gap.
Okay.
Simon, how much more will you let me search? Because I kind of want someplace with a roof that's like the bars are real fucking low. I just want it to not be on the main road, not be near anyone we know, and not have a roof.
That little triangle place.
God damn it.
Would you like to check out that little triangle place that Brandon keeps tickling?
Fuck it, sure, why not?
Sure. Okay, so you guys are on the very edge of... You're off the main road, but you are getting close to the outskirts, which there are some guards out here. Not as much as the main roads, but there are just a couple guards just literally walking around the fields. But at your distance, they're probably about 200 feet away. That's like the nearest one. This building seems to be a large-ish storage shed, but it looks like this whole cluster has just been abandoned. But the biggest building here is this large-ish storage shed. No furniture inside. Just it's not even wooded. Like the floor is just a dirt floor.
See, what I liked about putting it deeper in the city was like, I feel like with all these buildings kind of close next to each other, the guards would have a harder time finding out which building it's coming from. On the edge of town like that, they would just turn to their left and probably guess. I don't know. You guys can decide amongst yourselves. I think Simon's given us some pretty good options here.
I'll give you those three options. You can either have the cluster of buildings, the largest one being a storage shed near the outskirts, which is somewhat patrolled, the very large warehouse that is completely abandoned nearish the main road, and one broken down tavern, missing a roof, that is pretty much in the middle of the slums. With Zero's weirdly high investigation check, those would be your best three options, you wager.
Why don't we just take this one? Because it's kind of out there, and the guard presence is lesser.
I mean, there's guards 200 feet away. They'd probably hear the bullets. I'd say we go for the roofless one, because, I mean, who's going to be peeking in the roof?
Well, how many buildings are there?
The tavern would be the tallest building there. It just doesn't have a roof.
But it's
Wait,
pretty well
someone
surrounded
might-
by other buildings, right, Simon?
It
Okay,
is. Yeah.
so there's no roof, but it's still high up, so people can't see into it.
They can't tippy toe
Unless
into
you're-
it. If they climbed into it or climbed to a higher building, which around isn't that common, they might be able to.
I mean, yeah. And
But
I don't think
they would have to
Static.
exercise effort in order to peek in.
Yeah, and I think at that point, once we make enough commotion, we'll be in enough of a hurry that we can just close it back up quickly.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, what I was envisioning was complete rubble, no like walls or anything.
No, I said there was walls. They're just the wooden part burned out.
Just like
Okay,
an empty
I did-
plot.
Yeah,
That's
the
what I was thinking,
cobblestone
yeah.
walls are to the left.
But yeah,
Because
there's enough.
almost every building here was made of cobblestone,
Okay.
pretty much.
Then we can surmise that the roof was once wooden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll say you can't even see that. Jesus, I'm gonna make this. Oh, Jesus. What's a dark color that stands out against gray and white,
Black,
Pink.
pink,
and also
Pink.
black, pink?
black,
enough.
pink.
In
Black
your area,
pink.
More like stink.
More like
Okay, I'll-
Stan Luna, am I right, ladies?
Ah, yeah.
that's a color. And the Bolo Stratus. What's around
How-
here? Good luck seeing
Yeah,
that.
that
Yeah, I
feels
can't
far
see
enough
shit.
away. That feels far enough away. I just
Yeah,
didn't
he
want
said
to
the guard
put
presence
him at
there was
risk.
like almost non-existent.
Yeah, the guard
Basically.
presence in the slums isn't as heavy. It's probably the least guarded area. Yeah, outside in the cobble half at least. Nope. That's a thing. Sure.
Okay. So what's our game plan now then? Because we have this area, and it should be easy enough for the bullets to like get here. Once Chris shows Pratchell the way through Dream, right? So
No, from here, Chris takes the reins.
Yeah, and then we need to still go pickpocket a few hundred people.
Which we can't do until the next day.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I feel like for tomorrow, we shouldn't spend too much time doing that because like we're going to be burning resources and time that we could be getting to Pratchell.
I mean, this is important. We should still spend an appropriate amount of time on this. Besides, you guys were willing to wait a whole week till we go see Pratchell previously.
Riley is willing to wait
That's when
the
we
full
had to.
8 weeks,
Yeah.
but nobody else is, so he's kind of just stuck in the middle.
I
I
think
mean, waiting the week was when we
taking-
had to wait the week.
I think taking enough time to go all the way with it and collect all 5 IDs is worth the time.
Yeah, agreed.
Like I don't think we should. I don't think we should half-ass it and just like get as many as we can. I think we should try to get all of them. Simon, what's Claudine been doing this whole time? Is she just like vibing?
Just following you guys. Like a lost child. She doesn't know what your resources or skills or gains are. This is your rodeo. She's just fucking following the bull wherever it goes.
She doesn't have magical access, does she?
No. I
Oh,
have magic
yeah.
items, if that makes sense. I can jump really high, if that helps.
How
0
high?
laughs.
Claudine, how high can you jump?
That's 20 feet vertically.
So we're tied.
I guess.
Cool.
$60-foot long jump.
8-foot vertical.
That's kind of nuts.
Usain Bolt, or some Olympic long jumper. I don't know. Okay, does that conclude your planning phase?
I don't
feel
have
like-
anything else I want to do.
I feel like we should crack out more of a plan. Like, what are we planning to do if we do get these 5 IDs? Are we going to hang on to them, or are we going to get them made?
We're gonna get the maid, obviously.
Yeah. I
Some
think
of us
we should
don't
go
have
through with the.
disguise self.
Yeah, I think we should like. Chris should definitely communicate with Pratchell and let him know what we're planning, but I don't think we should actually go through with any of the Pratchell stuff until the IDs are finished. Simon, did he give a window of time to finish the IDs if we already have the sleeve like that?
Yeah, 1 day per ID, I think he said.
That's to actually make the thing. If you're to have the sleeves, because the sleeves are the hardest part to make, because you have to make them exactly to specifications, otherwise they're just pretty much worthless. Paperwork, he can crank up paper all day. If you give him the sleeves, and he just needs to do the paperwork, pretty much, that'll probably take the day for all of you.
Okay, good. Then yeah, I guess that half of the plan is finished until the following day.
This is approaching a full session length at this point.
We're halfway there.
What did we spend all of our time doing last session? Was it the TSA gate? We spent like a dumb amount of time.
Well, we spent most of it there. We also spent a lot of time talking to the dwarf guy. What the hell is his name? It has like 2 N's in it. Morin. Yeah, Morin. That's the one. Yeah.
Next Skyrim, but with more.
That Chris wanted to party with.
It's a shame Gorwyn is dead, because he knows how to party.
Gorwyn.
I know how to party too. Dead in 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Okay, and is there anything else you'd like to accomplish today?
I think that's all for now.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Which gonna fly Isaac over the wall or something? Or is that later?
I mean, I was gonna do that while we were doing stuff, and hopefully he could just come back and hit me up.
Oh, was that? I thought he was standing outside the door.
I mean, during guarding. Okay, while we were talking to the guy, yeah, he was guarding. But I think once we left there, can I retcon and say that I sent him over the wall to just see what he could see and then come back to me?
Okay, so you send him over the wall.
Yeah, I'm gonna send him over the wall, and I want him, if he gets in, to just kind of fly the perimeter around the top and then come back out and come back to me.
Are you sending him further into the city or just on top of the wall?
No, I want to send him into the city and to like go around the length of the city.
Sure.
Did you want me to conjure a stick or something?
Yeah. I don't see why not.
Okay,
Sure,
so you send him out. You send him out with the magical glowing stick.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. When do you want to come back?
I just want him to go and kind of to get into the walls of the city, to kind of go in a whole circle around the perimeter of the city and like the slums in the back, and then come back out. Just loop it around one time and come back.
Okay. Yep. So once you leave Bolo Stratus is the forger's place. And it takes you the better part of it 2.5 hours to complete your house finding journeys. You can find a nice place with a white picket fence, make sure the neighbors are okay. Yeah. Isaac hasn't come back to you at this point.
Can I sense if he's alive?
You focus really hard, he is not.
Oh.
Okay. Well, we'll have to deal with that when I see him next then. That answers that leaves more questions unanswered, but that answers my question of like whether or not they could detect something coming in, and they did. So
Does Pratchell have a familiar?
Chris.
Would I
Chris.
know if he
Not as far as you know.
Yeah, I don't recall any. Maybe captured beasts though.
He did like
I mean-
capturing beasts.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. That tracks.
All right. Does this conclude your planning phase?
I would just like to clarify. So next session is try to find some IDs, see where that leads, and then bullets.
Correct.
Okay. How much time are we willing to spend on finding IDs? Because they do seem kind of hard to track down.
An hour or two.
In
Yes,
game
like,
or what do you mean an
in-game.
hour or two?
Like
In
an
game,
hour
it
to
might take
in
way
game.
longer than
Oh,
that.
oh, sorry. No, I meant in real life.
Because you also have to consider like locate object takes like hella spell slots to maintain for more than 10 minutes.
We should be careful about where we go then.
Mm.
I think we also need to investigate at some point and find a place where we can find kind of a concentration of the sons of the old clan as well.
Exactly. Simon, would we potentially be able to tamper with a proper ID if mending was used?
You don't know. You haven't tried.
That's worth a shot too.
That is true. If we like broke an ID in half, you can mend it, leaving no trace of the former damage.
Precisely. Potentially.
Okay, that simplifies things a lot, actually.
It's something to test out for sure.
Yeah, we
Yes.
should take one off of somebody.
Okay,
and
yeah,
see what
that
we
makes
can
things a lot easier. We basically just need the guy to forge us the documents. And then we just
Yep.
break the stuff in half and then do it ourselves.
And mending is a cantrip, so I can do it infinitely.
Yeah,
And I can
Deirdre
even,
also
like,
has it, so we can go
fine-tune
two at
it.
once.
There you go. Looks like
Okay,
we have
yeah, but-
something. I mean, it depends on if it works. We'd have to get like the forger guy to be like, yeah, this works.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do we even though?
Yeah, I think
because
he
if
should
there are
have a look
faults, they
over
will
it.
be immediately noticeable.
Yeah, and I also think we don't know what like how the crystal breaks. Like, is it even gonna break if we do it by hand? Is it gonna shatter and like crumble? I mean, does that matter? Do you need like all the pieces of it or something really?
Right.
I mean, it fixes a single break or tear in an object. So if it shatters into a million pieces, that's not going to work. Or I mean, it would work. It would just take like forever.
I wonder if Yabedi could do something about them.
Or the Atneys.
I don't think they would
I
get
wouldn't-
involved on this.
I would not send it directly to the Atneys because they'd be like, are you guys up to illegal activity? Whereas Yabedi would not question it. And Yabedi is also like the fine tuner.
I trust
Yeah, but-
Rupor with my life.
Cool, I don't.
Our report doesn't give
Okay.
a shit about us.
No.
Okay, so this strategy depends on if when the crystal breaks, if it snaps or if it shatters. Because if it shatters into a bajillion pieces, like fine dust particles, then this ain't gonna work.
No.
I mean, we also just straight up haven't ever like we don't know if it'll break at all.
I mean, I'd imagine it would break eventually.
Sure, crystals are extremely hard to break, but lasers exist. Lasers exist,
Mhm.
right?
Do you have a
Could
laser,
we use
Riley?
lasers? Could we use
Ye-
lasers?
Yabedi might have a laser.
But Yvette might just
Yeah,
burn the
puts a
whole
lot of
goddamn
rust
crystal
in the
down.
machine.
Could
It's
we
a
use
3D
something
printer.
like spiritual weapon that does force damage to finally cut it?
See, that's another thing. If it was that easy, I don't think we would have had to like. I know he has to still forge a document for us, but like he's like a craftsman who's using like these really like precise tools who knows what to look for in the finished product.
He probably also doesn't do magic.
I can't tell if that was like a pro or a con.
Like, so he wouldn't be able to do a mending, basically. Because mending will leave it exactly as it was.
I still think we should try it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth doing. Like, he said not to come back unless we're buying.
Well, we'd still need the slips, so we would have to buy those off him.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, if we could go back just to ask him, then we wouldn't be buying.
No. Well, we wouldn't ask. We'd just do it.
I mean, we still need... We need to figure out if the crystals, like, snap or if they shatter.
Why wouldn't we do that in his presence?
Because we're not going to show up just to ask him, hey, do they snap or do they shatter?
We could
Like,
have
we need
him
to test
forge
it.
something. We could have him forge something in advance, like a false paper, and then test it there, so that we have reason to go. If nothing else, we'd have the paper then.
I mean, yeah, I
We
guess
can
we
always
could
just gather ones that we know are going to work for a fact, and then grab a couple of ones that were experimental and just bring them at the same time.
True. We might not have a choice because we don't know how many more like rare ones we can find.
Mm-hmm. I feel like this mending idea is actually like a really good idea. I feel like this is our ticket in.
I am in complete agreeal.
Yeah, so I guess mission for tomorrow is find some schmucks who we don't mind screwing over real bad. Yeah, that seems like a much, something a lot more consistent. But we would have to find out if they like snap or if they shatter. I mean, even if they shatter into like a couple big pieces, that's fine, as long as it's not a million tiny pieces.
And we still have to wait an entire day for our stuff to get forged anyway, so we could easily spend that day mending it anyway.
Yeah. And we have Riley and Dertra both have mending, so like that's twice as fast.
There you go.
Okay. Does that conclude your planning phase?
I have nothing more to plan.
I think that's all.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So where to next? Back to the hall then?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. It's about midday now. Still fucking hot in the city. I don't think the funky weather stopped yet. Nope, still hot as shit. You arrive at your rooms unassailed. Claudine, a little bit sweatier than normal. Okay, and you have a game plan. Ideas were discussed, and questions were asked of people that did not want to answer questions.
All
Okay.
right. So, just one last time, our plan is like on today, the same day, we're gonna go and find these things because we don't need any specific passports.
Well, Jenna has to prepare a locate object.
I mean, we don't need that because we're not looking for like the specific ones anymore.
Well,
We are.
we still can.
We
The fallback plan
we
is just
don't know if the shatter method is going to work.
I mean,
furthermore, we need to scout out and find Sons of the Old Clan hideout.
Yeah, so we can do that like this same day, so we're not like wasting another day.
Yeah.
Yeah, do everything that we can do today.
Then
And if
should
our
we
shadow
even keep the hotel?
I'm going to regroup, and we can probably like find some leads on the Sons of the Old Clan here. Talk to those guys outside, see if they know any hideouts, and we can go and like bust them up and take their shit.
Oh, true. You know what? I think the people who want to protect Moram might know. We could easily cooperate with them.
Yeah, and how do we feel about killing the Sons of the Old Clan? Is that a yes, or are we just like looking to like maim here?
Maim preferably,
Destroy.
but if they, yeah, we want to make sure that they're non-operational.
Mm-hmm. So, like, we go in to steal all their shit. Are we gonna leave them alive? Like, are we gonna leave witnesses or what?
Preferably, there won't be any witnesses, especially if it's crowded. We'll just steal their ID with invisibility.
Mm-hmm. Or Zero can just do it for free.
Invisibility don't hurt.
Visibility helps a lot.
That is true. It do. Okay, yeah. So that works. So I mean, as part of our planning phase, can we ask the rowdy boys outside if they know of any Sons of the Old Clan hideouts?
Next time.
Okay.
So we are approaching 4 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours right now, but yeah, because if I keep piling shit on, it's basically going to be a full session eventually.
Yeah, let's save that for next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get trying to be efficient with your time, but this will be a mini session.
Yeah.
And we can still keep that classification if we stop now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like we have more or less everything out of the way. We have our different plans all put together.
The important part is having the plan. Executing it.
Yeah.
If that takes a long time, oh well, at least we figured it out.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. We have our plan together. That's the important part.
Yeah, we can still talk about it as well after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool with that being the end of the session there.
Okay.
Seconded.